What's up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're talking division champ talk. Let's go. Let's go. This ain't the fuck like oh, this game he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Folks, Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Fan Friday, only on A2D Radio. Every Friday, we are brought to you by Gleason's Bar, which is located 6700 Mill Creek Avenue, Levittown, PA. You can use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or online. Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com. Love their cheesesteaks. I know Jake loved it. We know, I mean, Greg loves everything, so we don't want to even put him in this category. But we love their cheesesteak. Great meat to cheese ratio, as they like to say in the business. And I give a good 9 out of 10. And that was reheated. Like reheated 9 out of 10. You know, so if I'm 9 out of 10 in a reheat, wow. Go use the promo code A2D, 10% off at Gleason's Bar, located 6700 Mill Creek Avenue, Levittown, PA. Pete Young, like usual. We'll get to you, Dan. Jake Friel, like usual. Tom O'Neill, like usual. We're happy to bring Dan into the A2D team. This is his first Fan Friday show, so we're excited to have him. And Dan, give everybody just a quick backstory. You used to do it a little bit, and then we'll get into all the nuts and bolts of what we got to fucking talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to be here. I did my own thing a couple years ago. Just excited to bring content to everybody out here watching. Let's do it.
And right now, you usually be watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. But currently, you can't watch on Facebook for some reason. You can't watch on Twitter for some reason. So we thank everybody that's watching over on YouTube and Twitch. We appreciate you. At the end of the show, like we do all the time, we'll have our call-ins, NFL Week 12 preview and picks. Is Ben Simmons broke? According to Howard Eskin, he is. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's made a lot of money, but also – when you make a lot of money, a lot of these guys spend a lot of money. So I don't know if he's broke. I guess time's going to tell that, especially if he comes with his tail between his legs back in the door here. So we'll talk a little bit about Ben Simmons. Talk a little about the Sixers, too. Joel Embiid supposedly is supposed to come back tomorrow night against the Timberwolves. I mean, that'd be gigantic. It'd be nice getting back. I forgot he played here. So we'll talk a little Sixers. Our main topic at hand is going to be the Eagles. And pretty much, can they win the NFC East? Just as of, 2 days ago, we were just talking about them just being a 6 or 7 seed. Now the Cowboys have lost a few in a row and are struggling. Right now, that conversation's there again. Like it was there before the season started. That was the only time it was there, right? But now it's there again, right? Went away. We didn't think there's any chance of that happening, right? And here we are. And that's going to tie into our poll question brought to you by Manscaped. And today, you can get 25% off their entire store. Everything online. You get 25% off for the Black Friday sale. But usually, you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. So either way, unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Our poll question for tonight, usually live on Facebook, but we're live on YouTube, live on Twitch, not live on Twitter, even though we're usually live on Twitter. is hit the damn like, hit the subscribe wherever you're watching, which is in many places right now. So on YouTube, do that shit. Tell your friends. Let them know if they can't find us. The Eagles have a chance to win the NFC East. Agree or disagree? Usually you say chance. You're like, yeah, everybody's got a chance, right? But it's also not the beginning of the year anymore, right? We're talking about we're later in the year. We're in the week 12, okay? And yeah, they have a chance. So I mean, it's hard not to agree with it, even though I don't think they're going to win it, right? There's I can have it both ways because it's the same chance. Right, so I don't they have a chance. I mean, they got to go 5-1, the Eagles, and then you got to hope that the Cowboys stub their toe in other spots too. So it's not even about you just going 5-1. I mean, they got to stub their toe a little bit as well here, and then you play them. So I don't know. I still think the Cowboys are better than us, right? But they're obviously not playing better than us currently. But we also have to show that we can continue to do what we've been doing. Right, because the time we played them, that's all we have to go off of. They boat raced us, so they still feel like they're a better football team than us, right? And they've been struggling a little bit. But also, let's remember who they've been struggling off of outside of yesterday, right? I mean, these are all teams we lost to. A lot of these teams are teams we've lost to. So yeah, they got a chance, guys. I mean, Sunday really puts it in that conversation. If you beat the Giants, then they already lost. Then you're really starting to talk about man, we got a shot to win this division, but I got to see us beat the Giants first. I got to see us win 3 in a row to really believe. Not the poll isn't believe, but to really believe that the Eagles can win this division. I'm just not there yet. I'm still more on the 6-7 seed. Hey, let's just find our way in at this point. But I'm going to agree that they have a chance to, because obviously you still play them again, so that helps you. And them losing already this week helps you. So you can go catch up a little bit just by winning Sunday. And your schedules, we hate to say this because we did with the Phillies, but your schedule is easier than Dallas to finish off, even though Dallas plays Washington twice, the Giants, us, right? Is that all they have in Arizona?
In Arizona, yep.
But I guess their schedule's harder because they have Arizona compared to us having the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
One game. We win this weekend. It's one game, right?
Yeah, we're 2 back right now. Yep.
Yeah. Or a game and a half.
Game and a half. Yeah, game and a half.
Still.
Oh, okay.
Because we have a bye. They already did their bye.
Yeah.
Right. I believe the Cowboys already did theirs, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, so that's why we'll gain a half. But still, either way, a game and a half out. There's plenty of football left to be played, and I don't know. I think all of us as Eagles fans need to see some more before we're going to start running around saying yo, we really feel good about winning this division, right? We're just feeling good. We're starting to all feel good about just getting in the dance right now. We're not even in there. We're not even there yet. We're not even in the dance. We got to win Sunday, and I think once we win Sunday, everything's on the table. Everything, any conversation's on the table. I mean, outside of winning a Super Bowl, every conversation's on the table in terms of having every opportunity to go to the playoffs and maybe even an opportunity to winning a first round matchup. So, family, you let us know out there. Agree or disagree? The Eagles have a chance to win the NFC East, and we'll continue to dive into it. We'll read all your comments, questions, all that fun stuff. Boys, go ahead.
I'm going to agree, just because based on the fact the Eagles have won obviously the 3 of their last 4. Cowboys have lost 3 of their last 4. And the Cowboys defense, for whatever reason, I say it all the time, they pop their cherry too early because their defense at the beginning of the year, the first half of the year, they looked fantastic. And since then, especially these past 4 games, they're still good. Micah Parsons helps, obviously. Trayvon Diggs is great. They have a lot of great players, but it just hasn't been the same, right? It hasn't looked the same. And I saw Cowboys fans on Twitter last night being like, oh, well, we didn't have CeeDee Lamb. We didn't have oh my God, who else didn't have? Amari Cooper. Ezekiel Elliott was banged up. But
no, he just sucked.
It still could have won the game. They had the game in their hands, and again, typical Cowboys. This is what always happens, and Cowboys fans know this. If you're realistic and you don't subscribe to the fact that we can go to the Super Bowl this year, we can go to the Super Bowl next year.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
And like
It's our year.
Stephen A. Smith always says, what can go wrong will go wrong. Now, I'm not saying that the Cowboy ship is burning down or anything like that, because they still have a favorable schedule, obviously outside the Cardinals. Washington's a shakeup for me personally, because they're a competitive team still. Taylor Heineke, pretty good in my opinion, pretty good. They're deep. The Washington's defense isn't obviously what we thought it would be, but still, they're a competitive team. They're a tough team, but I just think the Cowboys are hot, or the Eagles are too hot right now. Obviously, Jordan Howard's out, but like Tom said, if we can win Sunday, then it's all on the table. The whole conversation's right on the table. So there's still plenty of time for the Cowboys to get back on track, and still have to see what the Eagles look like without Jordan Howard, and if Miles Sanders can pick it back up. Obviously, everyone's talking about Boston Scott, and we know his history with the New York Giants, but we need to see Miles Sanders pick it up as well.
Yeah, well, the only thing, Jake, is I think we're Eagles fans, so we're always going to piss on the Cowboys. But like, if Amari and CD are playing, they're a problem. Like, I just want people to understand this. Like, they are still a big time problem. Like, the Raiders' strength is their defense, and the Cowboys still put up 30 or whatever it was, right? So I mean, that's the Raiders' strength, and they still scored on them essentially when they wanted to, when they needed to, right? Besides their last drive when they needed points there, obviously. But everything else, like when those two guys are on the field, they're a problem offensively. They really are. So like, I just don't want us to overreact to us to think we're a better football team talent-wise, because we're not. We're just not. We might be close, but when them two guys are on the field, their offense is something different that I don't know defensively if we can even slow that down, right? We saw it. We saw it. We couldn't even, and that's an upper echelon quarterback that Jonathan Gannon plays a little bit more of a puss with, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just don't want us to. I don't want us to get overboard, because when we get overboard, not you, but the fan base, bad things happen. Like, bad things start to happen. So let's just say, hey, we get your thing. You agree? Yeah, I agree. We have a chance, right? Well, Mr. Negativity coming in here in a second is obviously going to disagree to having a chance, which is amazing. I cannot wait to hear it. I know the people out there cannot wait to hear how Pete can say disagree to a chance. Like, how are you disagreeing a chance, Peter? Tell us.
The Cowboys they're just a better team, like in every way, shape, and form. Like, I don't know, like, obviously, is there a chance? Sure, maybe, possibly, but I just think the Cowboys are just better. Like, they have a better defense. They have 3 stud wide receivers. They have 2 solid running backs. Obviously, I don't trust Mike McCarthy as far as I can throw him, which is like 2.5 feet. But,
throw him that far?
Maybe. I don't know. I might be able to push him. Or, knowing him, he's a dumbass. He'll trip himself. But, like, I just, as close as it is, and even if we get close enough, I just don't know if our defense is good enough to stop, like, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. Like, even if, like, we do what we're supposed to do, I just don't know if Dallas is just going to magically screw it up against bum competition like the Saints and Washington. Like, obviously they have the one tough one in Arizona, but like, other than that, like, it's a cakewalk.
No, it's true. It's true. But the way they're playing, I think you still got to say that, like, even though I agree with you, they're a better team than us roster wise, but we're still there, so we still have a chance, right?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, now here's the thing: like, if you say we're neck and neck week 18, and then there's no CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper, my answer might change a little bit. And if their defense keeps getting blown up, my answer might change a little bit. But for the most part of the year, their defense has been one of the best in the league, and Trayvon Diggs is arguably like a top 5 corner this year.
Mm-hmm. Dan?
I mean, I'm agreeing to the poll. As far as yesterday aside, seeing that performance from the Cowboys, the complete kind of light switch change that the Eagles have made since they started running the ball. They're the number one running football team in the league. It's hard to not look at that and be like, that's winning football. I know everybody wants to look at it now and they could be like, this is a passing league, quick score, this, that. But at the end of the day, every time that I, focus on something, it's always time of possession. You see time of possession, and 99% of the time, that's, who pulls out the W. So it's hard for me to look at it and be like, all right, well, I'm with Pete. Like, if they got a full complement of players, it is going to be hard because as much as time of possession that we can control, Dallas can score just like that. So it's kind of a catch-22. Like, yeah, we can control the ball, but at the same token, if we do have to play Dallas in the playoffs, they can score just as quick as we can control the clock. So, but I mean, as far as what we've seen the last few weeks, I don't know if you're an Eagles fan, how you don't look at this and be like, we have a chance to win this division, let alone we're going to make the playoffs. Book it.
Ooh, we put a book it on the end of it. I
Book
like
it.
it. I like it. I like the confidence out of
We
you.
may not win the division, but we're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone feels that way right now with what we've seen in the last few weeks. The fact that you're putting up a 200 spot on the number one rushing defense in the NFL, that should tell you all you need to know.
Yep.
Like, it's only going to help Hurts in the running game and the passing game. It's only going to help his confidence, because if he starts getting more confident and he starts believing in that arm, and he's gonna look for his wide open guys. He's gonna look for Devonta Smith. He's gonna look for Quez Watkins. He's gonna look for Dallas Goedert and see them open instead of like worrying about if the first read's not there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, they showed us when we played that and how fast they can score on us and how they can light us up. So it comes down to, how much can you control the clock versus them, and that's. I just look at the amount of talent on both sides, and it's hard for me to think that not that we can't beat them because it's the NFL, but the thinking like a must win for both teams to win the division, that we win that game, even though it's in Philly. And you say, Tom, it's in Philly, but like again, we haven't played well at home either. Last week was our first home win. So it's just like that, I don't know I don't know who we are yet. I mean, I'm starting to find out who we are a little bit, but I just don't know. Like, and I'm not the guy to say, like, we haven't played anybody. Like, I still think they can go 5-1 in their last stretch here, right? But we also haven't freaking beat anybody. Not that you need to beat somebody, not that matters, like not that necessarily matters, but when we face anybody of substance offensively, we've gotten torched. We've gotten torched against every explosive offense team we played, maybe outside of the Chargers. And we really did a good job of running the football in that game. To be able to like hang in that game. That's maybe the only explosive offense that didn't light our asses up. So that's my biggest concern, like when it comes to winning division. But I agree with Dan, though. In terms of making the playoffs, I think you can almost book that shit. I mean, you got to really go away from what's won you football games. Right? You really got to go away from your success of running the football and what you've done. You got to go say, I'm going to throw 45 times a game then. You almost got to get in your own way. And I don't necessarily see that happening. Not with what you have, not with what you've been doing to win games.
So let's say, for instance, like, let's say he wins, like they make it to the division, right? Whether they win or lose, it doesn't really fucking matter to me. Like, how impressive is that to you from a rookie head coach standpoint, down early in the season, some big injuries, and then they win enough games to sneak into the playoffs as a year one head coach?
It'd be tremendous.
It would be.
It's like your best rookie. He's the best rookie head coach you've had since Chip Kelly.
It's all about experience. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like, you're not expected to win anything this year, but if you can get the majority of these guys, which are young in terms of a nucleus, whether you think Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of the future or not, I'm with Tom. I'm not exactly sold, but if I can see some things in the next, 6-7 games, it's make or break.
Yep. I said it at the beginning of the year. You get me 7+ wins, I'm cool with you for another year.
Absolutely. I agree.
I wasn't like a crazy person. Like, we're going to win 12.
Jeremiah, thanks for the super chat. He says, I agree. I have nightmares about us reverting into, what we were doing earlier in the year.
Yeah.
I feel like if we were going to do that, we would have done it like once they brought Miles back.
I get where you're coming from, Pete, but like my concern is I'm just waiting for that game to where our run game isn't as effective, right? Like we're not getting 10 yards a clip or like 5, 6, 7 yards a clip.
True.
And we have to actually depend on Jalen Hurts to throw the ball on a consistent basis in a game. So,
but if that was going to happen,
where do you see that happening?
Well, that's the thing, right?
I saw it last week and I didn't see it, so I was like,
right.
Yeah, if it was going to happen, it would have happened against the Saints, and maybe the other place it could happen is against Dallas. But like the Jets can't block people on Twitter, let alone on the field. No. The Washington football team their defense is massively overrated. The Giants have no defense somehow, some way. And that's that. Like,
I just have a weird feel. Like when it comes to division games, it's weird, right? Like it never goes how like any of us think it's going to go, anything like that. Now on paper, with all the injuries that the Giants have, they don't have Kadarius Toney. They're out their 2 tight ends. Sterling Shepard's out for what feels like the 10 millionth game of his career. There's no reason they can't win.
So him and Saquon are best buds then.
Pretty much, as far as that goes, but. I don't know. I feel weird about I always feel weird about division games.
See, I feel weird in any division games that's not against the Giants because we own them. Like we're 25-5 against them in the last 30 games.
Yep, which is a crazy stat.
Like it's just I don't worry about the Giants. Like it just is what it is. Like we literally had like a 3-year stretch where we kicked their ass. Yeah, like they've won 1 game against us in three years.
Mm-hmm. And Benny's Nation says right here, we'll see without Jordan. He's that north-south runner that Booby is not. And that's the thing. And
you don't need it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and we talked about it all. I know Tom talked about it on his show. Rye talked about it. The guys talked about it. This is the perfect game for Miles to step up. Obviously, if you guys paid attention to our socials and some of our shows, we had a little not really a back and forth, but it's good to know that Miles listens. Miles is paying attention to what we're doing and what we're saying. Appreciate you, Miles, and the fact that you haven't blocked us, I give you respect for that. I give you respect for that compared to
to be
Ben
fair,
Simmonses of the world and the Jalen Ragers of the world who saw one bad thing and like, nope, block.
To be fair, we do have Miles Sanders #1 fan.
Yeah. That's also
like
true.
We have the president of his fan club, so that's probably why he has not blocked us just yet.
Yeah, no, that's also true. But again, this is the perfect opportunity. Like a bunch of shows this week have already said, this is Miles' perfect opportunity to step back. Obviously, last week was his first game back. Whatever. Still not a fan of the fumble. Still got to fix that. But
2 fumbles.
2 fumbles. And this is his second game back, so I'm expecting more from him this week. And I think Tom said on Wednesday, after seeing our little seeing our post, he might have a chip on his shoulder a little bit. So
be nice.
If he balls out, yeah, exactly. If he balls out, then I don't think Tom will have an issue admitting he's wrong.
Tuck it in.
Exactly.
Just tuck it in.
There's nothing to be wrong about, right? After one game,
2 hands.
Yeah.
He's got to play. He's got to play well for a minute.
Right.
I know people will jump the gun if he plays well.
Sure. Yeah.
Against the Giants, but also Pete, like I don't
contract extension.
I also don't buy into like, okay, we've owned the Giants, so we're not going to lose to them either.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like, I also can't buy into that. And I
mean,
do think
honestly, we could lose, but like I don't think there's a game I'll feel more confident about than when I play the Giants.
It's not the same squad either side of the ball.
I'd rather see either
team you want to
I mean,
look at.
they're what are they? A 3-team win team?
Hey, I'm with you. I look at them, especially offensively. I look at that team offensively, and they are lost. It's a division game. I don't overlook any division game.
No, you can't.
I do when the quarterback is Daniel Jones. This is a guy who trips on his own feet.
Yeah, we made him look like a track star.
Yeah, right. And they lost that game.
And with our history, we haven't done well with mobile quarterbacks. Not saying that Daniel Jones is anything special because he's not. But like Dan said, I never overlook division games because you never know with division games. Unless you're the Jets. Unless you're a team who's
ever.
Huh?
They've never beaten us in the history.
Oh, I know.
And they have the Jets. You got the Jets up next.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's
Flacco would appear.
That would be the biggest gimme game you have.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it'd be what? It'd be Zach Wilson theoretically.
Is he even healthy?
They're actually throwing the ball good in terms of stats. If you look at their numbers, they're I think they're top 10 in terms of passing. 10? Yeah. I looked it up on NFL.com. I could be wrong. I could have been looking at defensive numbers, but passing it looked like they were top 10.
I mean, when you can't run and you have no choice but to throw, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Let's see. I'll look it up. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Jeremiah says, thanks for super chat, Jeremiah. If for some reason every year when a division rival is struggling, we invite them to have a get-right game. Yeah, let's not do that Sunday. Yeah,
no.
Yep.
Yeah,
the Jets are 9th? Holy shit. Jets are 9th.
All right.
That's part when you're playing from behind so much too, right?
Yeah, that's a good
true.
point.
That's true.
Appreciate you, Jeremiah.
Yeah, big time. I think the food I eat's making me a little off. My wife texted me like, "Do you feel okay?" And I was like, "I think."
You have leftovers?
She's like, "Well, I don't." She's like, "I got leftovers." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like,
"Here we go."
And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm feeling that way too."
You didn't do the leftovers, did you?
No,
I did.
All right, I was gonna say that will knock you out.
No, I didn't even go with any turkey today. But where are we? Yeah, Benny's not, but I mean, doesn't mean he won't put his foot in the ground a couple times.
Hopefully.
I mean, I was with Tom. You brought it up last week. I mean, he's got to get the fumbling under control. It's got to be to the point where these guys. Obviously, I was about to say Deuce because I'm so just used to talking about him as far as running back coach, but they got to get this kid to just be able to secure the ball more. Like this is basic stuff at this point. Like he does everything else. Like when he's on the field, you can argue in terms of like, does he make too many moves? Does he try to do too much like LaShawn McCoy?
Yes.
Not comparing him to LaShawn in any means, but like, yeah, he's just got to hold on to the ball. You hold on to the ball, I'm good with you. Do what you do. Like
if the hole is there right in front of you, just go to it. Don't walk. Don't like sidestep 3 steps to the left to try and like get like a few extra yards. Just take what it gives you, man. Like stop trying to Trent Richardson that shit. Like Jesus Christ. I'm just like, he's like the anti-Richardson because he sees the hole. Like he sees the easy yardage and he's just like, nah, I'm going to run to the left. I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And then it's like a 3-yard loss and you're just like 2nd and 13. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then the next play, he'll have like a 60-yard run. Like,
yep.
Him and Saquon, when I watched them together, just they're so. I don't think I've ever watched a pair of more infuriating running backs in my life. Because Saquon's a lot like that, to where he'll have like a 60-yard. One of my favorite games. He had a 60-yard run in a game, and he finishes the game like 22 for 58.
Yeah. Yep. He'll get you big plays there. But
Benny's you know how bad you have to have a game to have something like that? And Miles does that too, where he'll have like that one big run that's fucking awesome. Yeah. And then like the other runs are just like infuriating as shit, and he'll throw like a fumble or two in there.
Yeah. And Benny's Nation even says, going back to Miles Sanders, this problem dates back to college, talking about his fumbling issues. Yep. And I think at this point, when he gets to it's what, his third year now, right? It's his third year, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like if it hasn't necessarily been corrected by now, I feel like it almost you are what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like it. I love what Miles does. I love his speed. I love that whole thing. I don't know what happened his rookie year though. He was a monster from catching out of the backfield his rookie year, and then it just fell off.
Because you can't use the Carson Wentz excuse anymore, because before him it was like, oh well, Carson just misses him in the flat. That's the problem. I'm like, it's not the case anymore. He can't hold on to the fucking ball.
I mean, I wouldn't say never. I mean, this is kind of like a drastic comparison, and I know Tom's going to listen to me on this. You can look at Tiki. Tiki completely just changed the way that he held the ball, and I know I'm dating myself, maybe not a crazy amount, but like Tiki Barber, the way he held the ball, he changed it up. Maybe not drastically to that extent with Miles, because I don't think that's his main problem with running with the ball. But there's definitely some mechanics that he needs to, get in the lab and just change up. Like, it's not working for him. When you step back on the field for being off for 3 weeks and you fumble twice, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But someone will be like, oh, it doesn't count. It wasn't a real fumble.
You dropped the ball.
It should have been a real fumble. That's exactly what it should have been. I wouldn't have given him forward progress. I would have called it a fumble.
Yeah, he just can't put the ball on the turf, right? It's as simple as that.
2 hands, baby. That's all you need.
Can't be the top upper echelon of running backs in the league. Put it on the turf. You just can't, unless you're putting up 20 touchdowns a year, and your numbers are just that ridiculous where it overshadows it, right? And that's it's hard to do.
Look at a guy like Nick Chubb. Like he doesn't do anything extra. He just takes what's given. Like, you're not seeing him dancing. You're not trying to see him force yardage. Like, if there's a hole, he goes through it. That's it. Like, that's literally all I need Miles Sanders to do. Find the hole, attack. There you go. Like, if you're not great at catching the ball, okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. Hold on to the football and go through the holes where they're open. I just feel like he makes it so much harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he definitely does.
Benny's Nation also says it feels like Jalen and him aren't on the same page. How many handoffs seem off, which doesn't help the rest of the run. Yeah, no, that's a good point too. I have noticed that a little bit here and there, but
because he's trying to stuff it. He's trying to slide it out of his chest, and then Miles is trying to take it before Hurts is ready.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But how many, like, honestly, like, prior to this, I'll say 4 to 5 game stretch when Miles wasn't really there. How many weeks did we watch Hurts out of the shotgun handing off the ball? Like, this guy needs to be under center. I'm sorry. And like, they've done it more recently. I'm fully to the belief where
I don't like shotgun, honestly.
No, yeah, in certain situations I'm fine with it, but like Miles, pitch it more often.
Yep,
he's got speed, he can move, he's lateral, he's got quickness. Like, he needs more than just these shotgun. I don't know. It drives me nuts. I'm glad
if you're a running team,
but it needs to be minimized to the extent of what they've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be a running team and you're going to have the running dual threat quarterback, it has to be under center. Like, and also I want more play action. Like, honestly, I'll use this all the time with Kevin Stefanski last year with Baker Mayfield, where you have one of the best running games, you have a great dominant O-line, and you keep your quarterback on the run in play action and just spreads everything out. I really love what Sirianni's doing. I would just like a little bit more play action because I think that can honestly open it up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, and that's another tool that helps, especially a young quarterback, the run game and play action, and especially for a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, that'll help tremendously. And again, we've seen improvement from Jalen over the past couple of weeks, right? Like he's made throws here and there.
I guess I have. If you're
improvement.
If you're one of those people who are like critiquing him over the last few weeks, I'm like, I don't know what you're watching. Like he's played well. He's played very well. He's done what I've needed him to do. Like maybe the passing touchdowns aren't there, but like he's making the throws when he needs to, and he's gashing people with the run game. Like he is helping that run game be as explosive as it is right now.
Mm-hmm. Especially last week, it was huge last
week.
If
your problem is with Jalen Hurts right now, I think it says a lot of things about you. Like, because he's just like he's not the problem. Like,
no, right now.
No, like if this is like 3-4 weeks ago, it's a different story. But like, no, I couldn't ask more than what he's doing right now.
Boys, I hate to do this to you, but she's not feeling well, so I gotta go. I gotta go grab him.
Gotcha.
But
that's what being a good dad's all about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Have fun. Enjoy. Enjoy talking Eagles.
Sponsored by Pampers.
4 weeks ago, we didn't think we'd be here. So talking Eagles. Dan, it's a pleasure to fucking have you a part of the family.
It's great to be here, man.
We're all
for more.
For you, Pete, not so much. Just kidding. Love you. Jake, you know the deal.
Love you too.
Todd, I'm sure you'll be on. So,
I mean,
later, boys.
See you
later, Tommy.
When I feel like going to bed, I'm just going to tag Todd in. Todd can come on as I'm leaving.
That's fine. That works out with me.
But if you guy does not know, I work at a car dealership, so my Fridays are basically I'm up at 7 and I don't get home until 7:30.
Wait, what? I have 3 kids, so
Jesus Christ.
I don't really get any sleep.
What is
I don't feel
sleep?
bad for you, Pete, to say the least. Get that money, buddy. Get that money. I respect the grind. Get the money.
Tired. Like
I feel you.
The day after Thanksgiving doesn't help things.
Yeah.
No. Well, the next day by default, the day after Thanksgiving, you're just tired anyway. You're tired by default.
I slept 11 hours. I slept 11 hours, and then I wake up. I'm just like, I have no fucking
11
energy.
Hours?
Yeah.
God bless you. I wish I could do that.
I worked retail for 10 years, and I
know that feeling.
This is the first year because I'm a stay-at-home dad.
There you go.
There you go.
This is the first year that I was lucky enough to have Thanksgiving off and Black Friday, just sit back and enjoy my time with my family.
There you go.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, exactly. You can't beat it.
Yep.
But getting back to what we were talking about earlier, we continue to see improvement from Jalen Hurts. Obviously, last week he was huge as far as his legs go. Now, again, it doesn't mean he's going to be the next Lamar Jackson, right? You get him in the open field against the corner, he's not breaking their ankles. That's just not happening. But then people will be like, "Oh, did you see what he did to the D lineman?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's a 6'8", 330-pound man. They can't change direction like that. That's just physics. That's all that is. That's physics."
Exactly.
Again, it was a beautiful move, but still,
it was awesome.
You continue to see the development, which I love seeing. And again,
he's one away from tying Vic's record.
He's one away?
Yep.
What, his rushing record?
Yep.
Or his rushing touchdown record?
Yep.
Really?
What does he have on the season?
Pete? He has 8.
And Vic's record is 9?
Yeah.
That's it? Really?
You didn't really need him to score rushing touchdowns when you had McCoy.
I'm just saying, I look at like Lamar and these other guys, and I would have, especially Lamar, like I would assume that he had 10.
No, Jalen Hurts actually leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns per quarterback.
No, I'm not saying this year. I'm saying like in general, like that he would have broke that record from.
Well, no, this is an Eagles record. Michael Vick holds the record for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
I thought you
I
were
got
saying
you.
NFL record.
Right.
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no.
Now I got you. Okay.
Lamar is probably best at that.
Oh yeah, without
Yeah.
a doubt. You could even make an argument for Cam in his prime too, but
Yep.
True.
Which
So-
Super Cam let us down last week.
yeah. Well, they're playing what? They're playing the Dolphins this week, correct?
They are,
Uh,
but I was talking about how they played
Yes.
Washington. They had a 14-0
Oh,
lead
yeah.
against Washington, and then they choked
Blew
it
it.
away.
Yeah, but I asked this a couple weeks ago. Obviously, the script is completely flipped based on how Jalen Hurts has been playing, but I think it's going to be pretty unanimous. Do you give him another year at least?
Yeah, I literally, where are we at? 5 and 6 right now.
Correct. Yes.
Just give me 2 wins. That's it. That's what I want. I want 7 wins.
Okay. Dan.
I will be honest.
Ooh,
I
there we
have
go.
been
like
no. I am willing to give him. I'm willing to give him another season.
that. Mhm.
This is strictly because regardless of what I've seen from him recently in terms of rushing the ball, I'm not confident with him with his arm, nor do I think it's going to get any better. I don't.
Okay.
I really don't. I would love to think so. And I look at guys like what we have on the outside now in Devontae Smith. We've got elite guys, and I don't know if it's ever going to get to that point where he can legitimately put it in spots where he's going to be able to just make the plays.
See,
I'm not saying he can't make the ball, the throw down the field, because he has a decent deep ball at times. It's accuracy and it's zip in terms of putting it into a spot. It's not arm strength, it's arm ability. That's my problem.
I've seen him. Look, like I'm like the resident Twitter Jalen Hurts hater, and like everyone hates me because of that, which is fine. But like even I have to say, like I think his arm is solid. Like I think it's weak in certain areas, but like he's been better. Here's the thing: if you expect the Niners game is the perfect example. You can't just have him just keep throwing up deep shots every throw. It's just not him. Like he can throw it out in the middle of the field. Like if you give him time, he can hit those big time throws. But if you're expecting him to be Mr. 35 to 40 times a game throwing, you're just not going to win.
No.
Like I just don't think that's how you win championships in general. Like if you need to throw the ball 35 to 40 times a game and you don't have a solid running game, I just don't think it's going to work out for you. Like
I mean, I would disagree with you wholeheartedly in terms of today's NFL. Because if anything tells you in today's NFL, that ain't true. You don't necessarily need your running back to run 30, 40 times a game.
No, you don't need him to run 30, 40 times, but you need him to run a decent amount.
Well, I mean, of course, if you want to control the clock. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to hate on Hurts. And I don't want that to come off that way in terms of my first time on this show. But the bottom
yourself here, but
hey, the hate can come on, and I will gladly take it, and I will answer any questions that people want to throw out to me or whatever.
Trust me, you'll get it.
And that's fine.
I just look like I'm worried about his arm in certain areas, but like I feel like it's gotten better. I feel like it's gotten stronger in certain areas. I'm like, especially in the last few weeks where I've watched him throw deep and I've watched him throw up the middle of the field. Like he leads the NFL in like 20-point plays, like or 20 plus yard plays. Like,
see, you're not listening to my argument. I don't have a problem with him in terms of his deep throw. It's him and his throw in terms of putting in a tight spot. And if you literally watch the all 22 and on a lot of plays, he cannot put it in a lot of spots that these elite quarterbacks are putting it in.
Right.
And yeah, like I'm asking a lot. Oh, okay. But that's not going to get better, Pete. Like you're not going to evolve into a guy that can just put it into a tight spot because your
your arm ability is like fantastic. That just
I mean, it's possible he can evolve into a guy who's just going to put it where it needs to be. Like he's not going to make the tight window throws, but
So
he's
you
going to
want a
make
game
the
manager,
right
basically.
throws.
Well,
so a game manager basically is what you're telling me.
I don't care. As long as I win a Super Bowl, I don't give a shit what you call it. Like I honestly think it's the dumbest phrase in sports is the game manager. I'm like, oh man, a guy who doesn't turn the ball over and makes the correct football play.
A lot of times they don't win Super Bowls. You don't get Nick Foles like that. And I wouldn't even consider Nick Foles a game manager, to be honest with you, to an extent.
No,
Not
he's
with us,
he's okay.
Yeah,
But it's only when he's here he's okay.
exactly.
But
yes.
everywhere else he just stinks.
Nick
But
Foles
again-
is five times a year guy. That's what he is.
Yeah, but I've said it for months, and I know Tom said it for a while. Obviously, he doesn't have like a cannon where he can throw it 60 yards, like no problem. Obviously, we
Yeah.
know that. But again, to Pete's point and to Dan's point, I like to go it both ways at this. So we saw it in the Broncos game to where he made great throws, like that one throw that he made to Quez Watkins. That's the best throw he made.
It was
all year.
beautiful. I agree.
It's just a matter of catching it. But
Yes.
again, I agree. He doesn't have like a piss missile of an arm, like I said earlier. He's not going to throw a laser in between tight coverage. He might every now and again, but so can every other quarterback. But my biggest thing with him, he has to learn anticipation throws. He has to learn to anticipate where his guy's going to be and that whole thing. If he can do that, then he'll go up a level. He'll go up a level to where now again, I'm not going to compare him to Drew Brees, but as you saw Drew Brees get older and that whole thing, and even during his career, like when his arm wasn't as good, and even when he was arguably the top quarterback in the NFL, he's the most accurate quarterback of all time because he knew where his guy was going to be every time. That's what it was. And also he had a great arm. But as he got older, you saw that to where he knew where his guy was going to be. Every time it was right there.
Yeah, like Breeze didn't need, but that was the thing about Breeze. Breeze didn't need to like be dropping like 80-yard touchdown passes.
No, not at all.
Breeze would put it exactly where it needed to go. And if you go watch his San Diego tape, which is not that impressive, like I do not. If you watch his San Diego stuff, like that arm is not impressive. It's spotty at times, and you wonder about the strength.
Yep.
Like he conditioned it, he worked on it, and he put in the hard work to make himself a better passer. I'll say this: I said I like Jalen Hurts' arm much more now than I did last year. I think his arm is a little bit better this year.
I think it's early to tell that,
but I get where you're coming from, Pete. But I think that also comes with time too. Like you get more time on the field, the better you're going to be. Yeah. What I really want, and we'll talk about this too once the season's wrapped up, and we'll talk about the off season and that whole thing. But what I want him to do is go down the Carson Wentz route. And what I mean by that is, for people that are familiar, it was after Carson's rookie season. We knew he had mechanical issues and stuff like that. His delivery was back here when he got ready to throw the football. That was fixed. He met with a quarterback coach, Tom House, who's worked with Ben Roethlisberger, so most of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and you saw the difference in year 2 with Carson. Now, again, I'm not going to say Jalen's going to make that dramatic of a jump in year 2. Well, technically year 3. But and I know he's going to put in the work because that's the kind of guy he is. As long as he knows what he has to work on, I'm not worried about that. And I think he is well aware because he's not an idiot. He's not a dumb guy. He knows what he has to do and he knows what he has to work on. So it's just a matter of how he does this offseason as the official starter and how much growth is he going to have in year 2 of being a legit starter. That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a foregone conclusion. I feel like at this point, honestly, just because of not only because of like regardless of his play, but I feel like because of the draft class, he's going to be, regardless if we have 3, we're going to have 3 first-round picks.
Yep.
There's just the value at the quarterback position is not there for us to waste a pick on it, especially what we would need defensively,
Yeah, exactly. My only concern with the whole quarterback situation is, and I'm fine with keeping Jalen Hurts for the offseason. That's what I want them to do so they can draft defense and build around Jalen. That's what I want to happen. But My concern is knowing how like not panic stricken, but like just how obsessed Howie Roseman is with Russell Wilson. That's my concern. If he becomes available, Howie won't be able to help himself because we have the ammunition.
You're shipping everything and your mother out to go get him.
That's my concern.
All right, here's a fun one. So they're talking about Sunday is going to be Jalen Hurts' 16th start. Are you ready?
Okay.
141 passing yards from the fourth place in Eagles history in first 16 games. 3 TDs away from third. Already has the most rushing yards and TDs. 160 yards away from the most in Eagles history, and has the second highest QB rating other than Nick Foles.
So here's my thing with that, and I've looked at a lot of these numbers. I looked at I've seen a comparison with Donovan McNabb.
I don't look at that.
I don't see it.
I don't do that.
But here's my thing. You're talking about a different time. It is a passing league. Like, I don't want to hear anything about what anybody's doing right now in terms of passing the ball and what somebody did 15, 10, 20 years ago, because it's completely different. It's not even, we're not even talking the same game, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, but it's, I feel like it's impressive nonetheless. Like, obviously, I don't think people will bring up his numbers compared to Lamar, and it doesn't do anything for me because Lamar went 6-1 as a rookie.
Well, that and they're just
he had a team to build around him. Yeah,
they're a completely different type of athlete too. That's the other thing. Yeah, and people want to be like, "Oh, he's the next level," and that's my issue. And again, I'm not talking shit on our fan base, but this is the issue that I have is that
I rather than too excited. Russell Wilson.
They get too excited. They get like he has one good game. They get like, "Oh, he's gonna be the next blah 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 blah," and that's my issue with the fan base. But again, that's a whole nother tirade for another time. Benny's Nation also says, yes, real question. Should the other Jalen still be on this team next year? Talking about Jalen Reagor. No.
I mean, no. I'm willing to give him a third year because I gave Nelson Aguilar, and I think Nelson Aguilar is worse.
You think it? No, I
do. I honestly think
Nelson's he was better. I'll take Nelson over.
Not Nelson's first 2 years.
Not his first 2 years. No,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about. I gave Nelson Aguilar, who was a worse athlete, who was a worse player, and I think his attitude was worse than Reagor's. They needed to. He was such a sourpuss and a bad teammate at times in his first 2 years. They had to bench him.
Yeah.
And then he would make excuses for his play. He'd be like, "Oh, so and so didn't find me.
Yeah,
or they missed me. That's what happened." And I'm like, "No, dude, you just sucked."
Yeah. Let's see. There's another one. Spike 23 says, yes, Umbrella's still here. Well, the Umbrella helped us win a game on last week. So
honestly, maybe we should start throwing it to Umbrella.
I mean, honestly, he has more yards than Reagor's had in the past 4 weeks.
What the fuck? Why aren't we throwing to Quez Watkins? What the fuck's going on?
I just don't think they play him as much.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, look at some of the players' snaps, and Reagor's getting more snaps than Quez. And again, I get it, right? Because he's a first-round pick and that whole thing, how he doesn't want to.
Yeah, but one guy has like a 6 yards per average, and one guy has like a 22. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he just stinks.
Quez Watkins is sex on wheels. Let's be honest.
I think he can be a solid player, but again, that's another guy who still needs to develop and needs time. And I think he'll be a very.
You want to know how you help him develop? You throw him the ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's
every time you throw the ball to this guy, plays happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I won't disagree there.
And Benny also says that the drop in Denver could have had something to do with it, which is fair.
I mean, Reagor's had I'm like the number one Reagor guy, but like Reagor's had how many fucking bad drops? Come on now.
I just
sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, when you talk about a guy coming out of TCU in a conference where they don't play defense, opposed to a guy coming out of the SEC and Justin Jefferson, who's going against top tier competition week in and week out, and he's still balling against guys.
I will say, I don't exactly know if they're using Reagor the right way at times. Because there'll be times where they'll use him, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is successful. Why don't we do that? and then we'll go away. Then we'll go away from it.
I'm curious how are they supposed to use him, Pete?
I feel like they could use him like Cordell Patterson's used. I feel like that could be a successful.
Just as like a gadget guy, yeah, because that's what he is. And me, Tom, and a bunch of the guys said it when he was drafted. He's a gadget. That's what he is. You can hand him the ball out of the backfield on a reverse or do trick plays here and there. And that's what he is.
Then you better get him out of here because
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You wasting a first-round pick on a gadget guy is not going to go over well in this city.
I mean, if you go out and you get like a top wide receiver and he can be like a wide receiver 3 or 4.
Okay. So that was what I was going to say when I I'm sorry, I interrupt you, Jake.
You're good.
We always interrupt you, Pete.
The bottom line is, like, when you have Devontae Smith on the field, I don't care. Throw him the ball. Give him the ball. I don't care if Jalen throws him the ball 20 times.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care. Give him the ball because he's going to make plays, and if he doesn't make a play, then it's something that he couldn't catch or was something that Jalen overthrew, whatever it may be.
I didn't drive 3 hours to get someone's jersey who's a bad wide receiver. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great. I don't care who wide receiver number 2 is. At the end of the day, next year, wide receiver number 2 is going to be a veteran who has a pedigree. That's what's going to happen.
Allen Robinson.
I'll take Allen Robinson.
Absolutely.
There's literally like 10 guys I would take next year.
Yep. Yeah. I don't care what anyone like. People want to say Devontae Adams. You can swipe that on.
Sure. Is
wherever
Rodgers our quarterback?
Wherever Rodgers is going, that's where Devontae's going.
Yep.
So you can forget about that. Godwin would be nice. I mean, you have so many options, right? As far as this wide receiver free agency pool goes.
We're going to get somebody. We have way too much cap.
I completely agree.
All right, so this is how deep it is. Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams, Will Fuller, who I would take in a heartbeat.
Bring him home.
T.Y. Hilton.
I'll be fine with him.
T.Y. Hilton.
He's always hurt though.
Juju, who I want no parts of Juju. Sammy Watkins, Mike Williams, Pascal, Antonio Brown, Albert Wilson, Zay Jones, Rashard Higgins.
Does Juju have a player option? Didn't he just resign last year?
No, it was just a 1-year deal.
It was just a 1-year deal.
Christian Kirk, really? Odell.
I like Christian Kirk.
Adam Humphries, who I also like. Marcus Robinson,
I didn't know you were still in the league, Adam Humphries.
DJ Chark.
I don't mind DJ. I like DJ.
Honestly, and this is going to piss some people off, I throw all my money at Michael Gallup, and I don't even think twice about it.
Would you really?
Yes, I fucking would.
Would you really?
Yes, I would. Because I don't care. I don't care. Like,
I don't hate it.
Oh, he's a Cowboy. I don't give a fuck. That is a motherfucker right there.
I think value at Kirk, to be honest with you, at a lower number.
I would throw money at Kirk too.
You get him out of Arizona, he gets more touches because he's not the last option.
No,
I feel like Gallup is just such a good complimentary player.
He's a stud, man.
He is a stud.
Don't get me wrong.
I'd listen. Me personally, I'd love to have Mike Williams. I've loved Mike Williams since he was at Clemson.
Yeah, that's my dude.
But you have to look at his stats this year. He's going to get top tier money, well deserved. He's just a monster.
Yeah,
he's just a stud. He's finally healthy after the past couple years. And
I mean, he's not going to be anyone's wide receiver too. I love Rashard Higgins. All he does is catch the football.
I do like Higgins.
He's literally Greg Ward on steroids, except he catches the ball.
Yeah. Jeremiah, again, appreciate the donation. Jason Avant saying Quez, I'd like option 3 after Smith and Goddard, and he doesn't believe in Jalen. Gets Reed always. Aguilar over Rieger easily. Oh, that's not
sure. Aguilar now. But I feel like people forget how bad Aguilar was his first 2 years.
Yeah, he was bad. Let's see. Jeremiah says get Godwin.
Honestly.
What's up, Rick? Rick says get Allen Robinson. I'm fine with Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
I am perfectly fine. Benny also says he wants a big body receiver who will be a threat in the red. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. We do need a big body guy because again, they're not small guys, but they're not big guys either. So Rick also says Kirk or Chark. I'd take either or. And he agrees with Pete. I don't know on which topic. But.
What are you agreeing with me? You have to be more specific. I'm right on a lot of things.
Mr. Wiggins says all I heard was Godwin.
There's literally like 15 guys I would take as my wide receiver too. Like,
I'd love Chris Godwin, and I know the Philadelphia fan base will freaking they'll be going skiing. They'll be going skiing because they have another Penn State guy here. So
I don't give a
Same
shit.
thing with Allen Robinson.
Michael Gallup all day.
You got two guys.
You get Michael Gallup, I'll buy that jersey day one.
Allen Robinson being the number 2. I do, or not Allen Robinson.
What if you draft? What if you go in the draft? What if they do it again?
If you go, not in the first round though.
I just don't think.
Don't put anything past Howie.
There's like
I hear you.
There's like maybe 2 wide receivers in the first round I could even consider it, but I don't think I'm like. And maybe if it's like the Colts pick, where it's going to be in like the 20s.
Yeah.
Like maybe, but like I'm not going. And there's no wide receiver in this draft. I go top 10. I think Olave. I really like Olave, and I wouldn't go top 10 with him.
I would. Oh my god, if Olave was there, oh my god,
I wouldn't. It's Hamilton season, bitch.
Hamilton. I like.
That's it. Hamilton or bust. Like honestly.
Yeah, I mean Hamilton's definitely the. He's going to be the first guy to go.
I
really think that's
for what? Question. For what?
For wide receivers.
Hamilton's not a wide receiver.
Oh, you're talking about
safety. I'm sorry.
Yeah, safety.
Yeah, safety.
Yeah.
That's why I said is you need that pick between 5 and 7 that you can get him.
Absolutely.
Because quarterback, as long as that Dolphins pick is between 5 and 7, Kyle Hamilton is your new safety.
But do you think? I mean,
the quarterbacks are going to go up. There will be at least 5 to 6 quarterbacks taken in this first round. I'll guarantee that.
Yeah.
Because this is like the Jake Locker draft where
I mean Corral's got to be the first guy to go though. Like
I would think.
I have literally no idea. Like anything could happen. It's too early.
Yeah, but again, here's what's going to happen, right? Guys that don't even have great years. There'll be a guy we didn't even hear about this year who had a mediocre year. They're like, listen,
Kenny Pickett's the
tools,
perfect
he
example.
has the arms. I just don't trust.
I think he's this.
Gloves.
I think Kenny Pickett's going to be this year's Carson Wentz, to where no one
Kenny.
What I mean by that is where it's early on, nobody really had any tape on him, and then like after the end of the season, he shoots up the draft boards like Carson.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely possible because
if you look at the mock drafts from 2017, your best quarterbacks are like Cardell Jones and Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah. I forgot about that draft too. Oh Jesus. Good Lord.
So you think I would think they would go corner their first pick.
No.
I would if Derek Stingley's there, I'll take him in a second.
I honestly think safety is a much bigger need because McLeod's a free agent.
That's true.
You can honestly re-sign Steven Nelson, who's probably been your best CB2 in like a decade.
Where do you think Hamilton's going to fall at, though? Like, I don't think Hamilton's not going to fall. He's not going to fall to wherever their first pick is.
You know that the Dolphins pick is at 7 right now. If you get
right now,
they're an awful football team.
Yeah,
if you get that pick anywhere between 5 and 7, you can get Kyle Hamilton. I think there's going to be a run. I think there's going to be a run on quarterbacks in the top 10, and it's going to push guys down. Which usually happens with QB needy teams, and that's going to be a lot of them.
Well, it depends too, right? Because it depends on where that Dolphins pick is for me. Because if we're in like the top 5, for example, I'll trade down. Go number 5 or wherever.
You get more assets. Yeah.
Yeah, the following year I'll do that in a second. If we're in the top 3 though, only if we're in the top 3 or like say 4 or 5, I'll trade back. Depending on who's still on the board, but. I don't know if Kyle Hamilton will be there theoretically if we're at 7. I don't know if he'll still be there. I'd love it.
He's the consensus as far as prospect wise. He's the number 1 overall prospect in next year's draft.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to go number 1 overall, obviously.
They have him at
But-
5 right now. That's why I said if you could get to 5, I feel like you can
mock
get him
drafts. Yeah, but I'm just saying in terms of prospects, what they're saying as far
Yeah,
as
but like the number 1 prospect doesn't always go. Like
No, I know that's what I'm saying. He's not gonna go number 1 overall. But in terms of like player, like what they're saying, production in the NFL, like he's it.
Yeah.
He's not.
I agree.
Ain't gonna
But,
go
like,
1 overall.
but teams will be stupid. Teams will
Oh, no doubt.
teams will overdraft quarterbacks like it's going out of style.
No doubt.
Oh, for sure. And it's crazy too, right? You have 32 teams and you have football all across the country, and there's still teams that just.
I
can't
mean, I
find a
don't think
quarterback.
Stingley's even going to be an option. I think he goes top 3.
Top 3 or
Really?
top 5 for sure. I think he goes top 5 for sure. 'Cause
Like,
I know
honestly,
for a
if
fact
I
he's
get-
sitting out.
If I get Stingley or Hamilton, I'm happy. But like other than that, like I don't really need. I think cornerback. Obviously, you need, but like I feel like they're banking on it because they did a lot of late round wheeling and dealing to get guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention they have Zach McPherson and they have a few other. They have guys they drafted. Like
That's true too.
They
have a lot of young guys.
remember they wasted like 2/5 and a 6 on guys this year.
I think a lot of people downplay the way that they build this team, though. We've always built this team on the defensive and offensive line. So,
Which I feel like that they've started to do that again, and like I feel like this is a year I go after safety because they've done some under the radar moves for cornerbacks, and if Derek Stingley is there at 5, that's a possibility. It's the same thing, but I think safety is just much bigger because McLeod's a free agent, and I feel like who's the one kid at safety who's from last year, the Eagles.
Oh, Kayvon Wallace.
Yeah, and Kayvon Wallace. I don't feel like he's done enough to make them not want to
he
draft.
hasn't been on the
safety.
field enough. No.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly. He hasn't been on the field.
And when he has, it's just hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. But getting back to the O-line real quick, I mean, you just have a bunch of young guys at the O-line. You have Jordan Mailata, who I think is only 24, who has a very bright future. Landon Dickerson's been playing very well. I think he's only 23.
What's
Jack
that?
Driscoll, Jack
Driscoll
right guard.
looks like a home run hit.
I love Jack Driscoll.
You got him in the 5th round.
Well, that's a guy that can play.
Line's stocked, man. Like they're good.
Well, and I said
defensive line.
Yeah, and I said this last week too. This city doesn't give enough credit to Jeff Stoutland, the Eagles' offensive line coach, for what he's done over the past couple of years. Especially now, obviously, last year is an anomaly because the amount of injuries that we had on the offensive line is just abysmal. But again, even with guys going down like Lane Johnson, who had mental health issues, you had.
I do everything I can to get rid of Brandon Brooks. I trade him for whoever will take him.
Oh, he won't be on this roster.
I just don't need him.
So.
I just don't need him.
And
I think Driscoll's outplaying him right now.
Well, it's not. I don't know if it's that per se, but it's just the fact that he's available. Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Brandon because when Brandon's healthy, he's arguably one of the best right guards in football.
When that's the
exactly
the key thing.
Yeah, and he's just a stud. But again, like Dan said, it's all about availability in this league. That's what it's all about. And we have enough young guys to where we can just be like, okay, well, appreciate the Super Bowl, appreciate everything you did, but we got to move on. And you have Isaac Sayamalu coming back next year too. So theoretically, if Jason Kelce does end up retiring after this year, you put Landon Dickerson at center, and then that's position. That's your young offensive line right there.
Yep.
Now again, Lane Johnson, I don't know what you do. Maybe you keep him for another year, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if they go tackle and say theoretically third round. I feel like I
don't see Lane going anywhere because like Lane's injuries, like he can at least play through. Like Brooks just tears his ACL every year.
Yeah, he's not gonna. There's no way he's gonna be on this team. So I would say you could literally book. They're gonna take a defensive end or they're gonna take a defensive tackle
with one of those 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I would honestly say I would put on the 90% side that the first pick that they have is probably going to go like Hutchinson or something like that with their first pick.
Hutchinson. Jordan Davis, please.
I think it's going to be whoever's on. I think it's just going to be how the board falls.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like we're going to.
But here's the thing: if Stingley or Hamilton are there, I just can't see them not taking one of those two because.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, because remember last year. Remember the big worry heading into this year's draft. They're like, everyone's like, oh, they're gonna draft a DT who's just not that great. Mm-hmm. And it's just like because it's a Howie pick. Like they're like, who's the one guy who drafted by the Colts? Everyone and their mother swore the Eagles were going to take.
I don't know.
He was an Alabama kid.
I forgot. I have no idea.
But like they swore the Eagles were going to pick him because it's such a Howie pick, and then he drafted Devonta Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He watched what was happening in the draft, and he made his choice based on what was happening with his board.
Well, and that's why you look back at history, right? You look at the Baltimore Ravens, for example. Now, again, they have Ozzie Newsome, and Ozzie Newsome isn't there anymore, but they're still drafting well because they're not even making crazy moves on draft night. They're just letting the board fall and draft the guys that are the best available players, whether it's a need or not. They can keep adding to a strength per usual, like they do with their linebackers. Their linebackers are just studs. Like, would have loved to have Patrick Queen, but that's I think another conversation for another time.
I don't think he's that great.
I love Patrick Queen.
I know a lot of guys who watch him and they're just not impressed.
He's better than anything that we have on a roster right now.
Exactly.
I love Taylor.
Honestly, I really like Davion Taylor, and I really like TJ Edwards. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm actually going to feel happy going into next year with my linebackers. I have no idea what to say to myself.
I mean, it's just TJ Edwards and Davion Taylor. Yeah, it's just those two. We still need.
I like what's his name?
Who?
Gerard Avery. I like him more than others.
I
like Gerard Avery more than I like Alex Singleton.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, but again, you're biased.
I like all of them more than I like Eric Wilson.
You like your Browns guys. I like the
talent. I like the talent.
I mean, again, the talent's there, sure, but he hasn't been on the field as much. That's a whole other issue.
There's a reason for that. They just, for whatever fucking reason, we're playing Eric Wilson and Alex Singleton.
Yeah.
The worst linebacker duo in the NFL.
Yeah. Marquise also says Slay will be 32. Corners a much bigger need. I mean, I understand it, sure, but at the same time, he's playing very well. He's playing very well.
He could play at an elite level for another 3 to 4 years.
Dude, he's literally, in terms of what he's done this year. You can laugh at me about this. He's a defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he's a top. He's a top. I don't care. Corner. He's a top 2 corner.
I'm literally saying, if you look at the stuff that he's done this year in terms of returns for touchdowns, what he's done in terms of like coverage as far as cornerbacks, he's a defensive player of the year.
No player has more than 50 yards against him, and I don't think any player has more than 40 yards against him.
He's not going to win it, but he is a candidate if he keeps going the way he's doing.
When was the last corner to win Defensive Player of the Year?
It wasn't that long ago, I don't think.
Charles Woodson. Did Charles Woodson win it?
Yes.
Hold on, let's see. Yeah, but I mean, if he gets theoretically, I'll say like 3 or 4 more interceptions, and maybe like a touchdown or two, you can lock it up for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think could you argue Diggs has a better chance than he does?
I think he shot his load in the beginning, though.
Yeah, he shot his load in the beginning. He just, again, he's still a solid player, but he just has a history of biting on double moves. That's just been his.
Oh, Stephon Gilmore won in 19.
That's what it was. Yeah, I knew it was recent. Yeah,
it was him, Woodson, and then
what did he do that year though? Can you pull up those numbers, Pete?
What, Stephon Gilmore?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I got it.
I'm just curious as far as like what he actually did in terms of coverage.
Gilmore 2019 stats. So let's see here. 2019 stats according to Pro Football Reference.
Yeah, I just pulled him up.
2 touchdowns, interceptions. Let me see here.
50% completion percentage, only 11.7 throws, 0 touchdowns,
6 interceptions.
Yeah, 6 interceptions and
2 touchdowns. That helps.
And less than 600 yards against him and 0 touchdowns.
Wow.
He had 2 touchdowns surrendered the entire season.
No, 0.
He scored 2.
He scored 2 defensive
touchdowns.
Okay,
he scored 2.
I got
and he had a 44.1 passer rating.
Wow.
So so he gives up less than 600 yards, 0 TDs, 2 defensive TDs.
Yeah, he
deserved it. And has a 44.1 passer rating when thrown against him. That's fucking impressive.
That is nutty, yeah.
And I mean, if you look at their schedule too, there's a good chance that he could get in that conversation. Especially when you talk about the Daniel Joneses of the world, the Zach Wilson's. I don't even know who their quarterback's going to be at this point because Mike White has COVID.
So this is through 11 games this year. So Slay has a 62.5 completion percentage. He's allowed 356 yards.
You on Pro Football Reference?
Yeah, I'm on Pro Football Reference.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
3 touchdowns allowed.
Mm-hmm.
With a 76.8 passer rating.
76.8. Okay.
So it's the second best of his career.
That's what I figured. He said, "Yeah, I knew he was having like a career-ish year."
I was going to say, which still isn't nothing. If you're talking about how many games they played so far, 2, 4, 6, 8.
It's 11. It's 11.
Yeah. Like he's putting up fantastic numbers.
No, he's amazing, but that's what you. But I'm just saying, that's what you have to put up to be Defensive Player of the Year
at cornerback.
Yeah, at cornerback.
You can already lock him up for the Pro Bowl. You can already lock him up.
He's an All-Pro.
Yeah, I agree, Pete. He is an All-Pro. And it's crazy too. At his age, he's still doing what he's doing at 32.
So for Charles Woodson, this is what he needed to win Defensive Player of the Year in 2009. Are you ready? 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Okay.
3 defensive touchdowns.
That's it.
Yeah, 3 defensive touchdowns. 1 fumble recovery. And 2 sacks mixed in with 3 QB hits.
Really?
He must have been really good in coverage that year then.
He had 9 interceptions.
Yeah, well there you go. Okay. Answers my
question. I was expecting a lot more returns though from him. You know what I mean?
From Woodson,
Yeah.
All right. So
Slay is, and I'm completely cool with another year of what's his name? I'm completely cool with another year of Steven Nelson.
I'm fine with it.
Let me see if I can pull up my.
If you don't want to waste a pick on the corner, or if you just want them to sit, maybe.
So, I pull it up. So for 11 games, he's allowed 397 yards and 3 TDs. This is how bad CB2s were in the past. In 2019, Darby allowed 705 yards and 6 TDs in 11 games.
Yeah.
In 2020, Jaquette and Maddox, who combined for 10 starts, allowed 809 yards and 4 TDs.
Michael Jaquette stinks.
Oh my god.
So I'll take 2 years from Steven Nelson.
Well, and I just said that I would take whoever we drafted in terms of rookie-wise and put him in the slot, but not sitting here thinking that we just re-signed Avonte Maddox.
Avonte Maddox is I don't need to put anyone in this slot.
Absolutely.
I have Avonte Maddox has 0 touchdowns and less than 200 yards.
Say less. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I just wasn't thinking.
So,
Because
yeah,
here's the thing, you don't even hear his name. You don't even hear his name called.
Exactly.
You're just like, holy fuck, you're on the team. Shit.
Yes. That's what you want from your cornerbacks. You don't want to hear.
You don't want to hear them
unless they're
picks.
taking pick six to the house.
Yeah, then I'll be all for it.
Exactly.
So let's get on to this real quick. But before we move into our next topic is brought to you by eXp Realty. Looking to buy or sell a home, looking to change your career or brokerage, contact our guy Alan Foy at eXp Realty at 302-682-8820 or shoot him an email at alan.foy@exprealty.com. So a couple days ago, yesterday, on Thanksgiving of all times, Howard Eskin decides to put out a report saying that Ben Simmons is broke. $180 million.
Sure.
Broke.
Totally. Completely. Yeah, totally. Yep.
Do you buy that he's broke, or do you think Eskin's
No,
just taking a shot?
it's Howard fucking. Here's the thing.
Dude.
Here's how much Howard Eskin sucks. Here's how much Howard Eskin sucks. My father has not followed sports in 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
In the longest time. And I say Howard Eskin to him, he's like, fuck that asshole.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
That should tell you all you need to know about the credibility of Howard Eskin.
That doesn't tell you anything, man.
He has
He's
no
been in
credibility.
the game forever.
He has zero credibility. He's the old guy who never went anywhere, and they just won't kick out of the fucking room.
It's crazy too because he's
like how many stories like this is the guy who was going to get sued for slander by Fletcher Cox's lawyer.
Did he get sued?
He's still working for the Eagles, so
which is pathetic. Which he's not. He doesn't work for the Eagles.
He does work for the Eagles.
He works for WIP.
He works.
Yeah,
for,
but
he works for the
Eagles. He's a
Look it
sideline
up,
reporter for the Eagles.
Yeah,
which is such a joke. Like,
that's why he got the ring.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why he got the ring.
Which is a joke.
And Benny says it right here. When's the last time Eskin's been right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Hey, remember when we were going to open up in 2018 against the Vikings?
I'm maybe I'll be on the opposite side of you, Pete, obviously, and maybe you, Jake. But I do think there's an issue. And here's my thing.
Absolutely is.
If you look at this guy's track record, he's buying cars left and right. Okay. I'm not a financial advisor. I follow crypto and shit like that, but and they all tell you that they're not a financial advisor. But the bottom line is, this guy don't spend properly.
No.
He is not.
I mean, I have no idea what his financials are.
Well,
so
you can. Here you go, Pete. You can look at what he's done in terms of the stuff that he has in social media, the amount of money that he's made in terms of contract wise. The purchases of his house, the purchases of his cars, and the stuff that he's bought, and put two and two together and realize this guy does not have financial responsibility in terms of what he's done, nor what he's doing in the future.
Sure. But that doesn't mean he's broke.
An idiot.
He is an idiot,
okay.
But that doesn't mean he's broke.
Well,
you don't know that. I don't know that.
I don't.
Knows that.
I don't. But I also know Howard Eskin doesn't know his head from his ass in terms of basketball.
Howard Eskin has more resources than me, you, Tom, or anybody else does.
Not when it comes to basketball. He doesn't. Not when it comes to basketball.
Yes, he does.
He knows nothing about the game of basketball.
All right.
It doesn't mean he
might not know
anything
about the game of basketball, but he has more resources.
Like I don't trust his sources are always wrong. So I mean, every time he's tried to break a scoop over the last few years, it ended up being wrong. So
they're not always going to be right.
Here's the thing, though. Here's my thing. We saw in the offseason, he bought a $17 million mansion in LA. He did that. Yep. Now, mind you, he sold his house in Pennsylvania. He sold his house in Jersey. He has two houses over here.
He listed them.
He listed them.
He's selling yet.
The one house he's staying at, or was staying at in Jersey. And Pete, you'll understand this. He needed a car carrier to get all his cars out. He needed a legit tractor trailer car carrier.
Yeah, I know the one.
to have his cars taken out, like the cars
We
that
have it every morning
get
at the
shipped to the
dealership.
dealership. Yeah, exactly. The cars that get shipped to the dealership have that big freaking truck with all the different ramps and whatnot for all the different cars to fit on the tractor
Do I think
trailer.
he's hurting? Probably. I don't think he's broke. Like,
I would hope not.
I'll believe it when I see it. And if it came from a more reliable source, I'd also believe it.
Okay. That's fair to a certain extent.
He's not a reliable source. He has an axe to grind with the Sixers because he's an asshole. And he's just like, oh my God, what's this negative thing? Haha, Sixers. And I'm just like, okay, bro.
I just think he's brutally honest.
I know.
I'm 1000% with you, Jake. But here's my thing. Like, generally speaking, all right, you're a car guy, right?
Yeah.
Jake?
Yes.
You see all the money that this guy's spending not only on houses, but he's spending on cars. Jake, you just mentioned it. He literally had to have somebody come in and take all of his cars and transport them from East Coast
to West Coast,
all the way to West Coast. Okay. He's not making squat. He's not making a penny right now. Nothing. Mm-hmm. Okay. What did he make on his rookie contract?
Let's find out.
Because I can tell you what, it's not nearly the amount of money that he's dishing out on cars, on $17 million mansions.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons rookie.
So
contract.
I don't think anyone's disagreeing. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. Like, is he hurting? It's possible, but is he broke? Like, broke.
Broke's a strong word.
I just can't make. Yeah, I can't. Like, if you're like, Ben Simmons is hurting for cash, and I'm like, okay, with all the money he spends and the fines, and I'm like, okay, that's a possibility. But broke, I don't think so.
He's a media guy, so he's gonna throw words out there that trigger people and draw headlines. So I don't think he's broke. I'm with you.
Guy. Like that's
But I don't think he's broke. But I do think
that's what he said though. Like he didn't use words like is Ben Simmons financially hurting right now? No, he said broke. So when you say words like broke means nothing.
But why do you think
on the fucking street begging for cash?
Well, yeah, but he's clearly not at that point. But why do you think he's lingering around trying to get back on the team, trying to make sure he's doing
I don't think he is though. I think he's trying to do whatever he can to look like he's a good guy and look like he's decent. So other teams will be like, well, he's trying to make the best situation.
Nobody thinks he's a good guy.
I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it seem like
but he's not doing that. He's not doing that.
I understand that, but that's what he's trying to do. Whether it's working,
I don't know why you're saying that he's trying to do that because you're wrong. He's not doing that. None of what he's doing is
not wrong though.
You are. How is he doing that? How is he? Explain to me how he's doing that.
I can't be wrong when it's something within the dude's own head. That's what his management is telling him to do. It's like, oh, we're going to do it like this. They're going to think that you're being.
But listen to me. Listen to me.
He's full of shit. He's full of shit.
Explain to me how. Explain to me.
Talking about.
Sorry.
No, you're good. We're talking about a guy who's faking that he has mental illness, and I don't care what anyone says. He's
the weakest thing. He's one thing. He's not.
Hold on. Hold on.
He's fake.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
I don't need 2 minutes, bro.
Well, then give me a minute, because I know you'll spit it out. Give me an example. Tell me exactly why you think Ben Simmons is doing what he's doing to benefit his own good, the Sixers' good, or anybody else's good for that matter.
He's not benefiting.
And what is he doing? What is he doing?
I've explained this. He's trying to make it seem like, I'm trying to get right and everything. He's not. Like, he's trying to paint himself as a martyr, and he's doing these for the right reasons. There is no right reason for him. He's being a selfish asshole who's lying.
Okay.
Like, he's trying to paint a narrative of the type of person he is, except that narrative is bullshit and a lie.
Well, based on past history when you talk about Ben Simmons.
It's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make himself
Well,
look
in
like
terms
a
of
good guy.
in
There
terms
is
of
no
us,
good guy.
in terms of us, the Philadelphia fan base who gets to see it on a daily basis, we already fucking know you're a douchebag. And
Well, here's the thing:
know.
it doesn't matter about the Philly. It doesn't matter. What the Philly.
It does.
It doesn't though
Because you're here right now. We're paying your bills.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
what it does. It does.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It does not.
What-
Here's why it doesn't.
Okay.
Here's why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter?
How long is he signed for, Pete? How long is he signed for?
It has nothing to do.
How long is he signed for?
Are you going to let me talk, or are you just going to yap?
I'm going to answer the question. Answer the question first. I asked you a question. I expect you to answer it before you then retort and go into the next part. How long is he signed for?
Signed for 5 years.
Okay.
I don't care. Like,
Go on.
The whole reason he's doing this is to get the fuck out of here. He doesn't care what it looks like to Philadelphia fans. He cares what it looks like to other fans who might be like, well, he's trying to do it the right way. And I'm like, that's what he cares about. He's trying to make himself. He doesn't give a fuck what he looks like in Philadelphia. He wants.
But he should.
Of course he should. But he
because
doesn't.
you know what it's going to do. Not only is it going to trail himself here. It's going to follow him regardless of where the fuck he goes. Because guess what? If he goes to Boston, because I've heard Boston, regardless if it's I don't think the Jalen Brown thing is never going to result in anything. And Tom's went over that, and we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
But guess what? If he goes to any of these major cities, especially
get
East
murdered.
He probably will be.
Preach. Exactly.
But he doesn't. He'll worry about that when he gets there. Like, he doesn't care about this city. Like,
well, he better be more worried about it than he is.
He doesn't care though. Like, he'll say and do anything to get out of here. Like, it's over. Like, it's over with him caring about Philadelphia.
Obviously,
he never cared about Philadelphia to begin with, though. That's the thing. He never wanted to be here. He didn't want to be drafted here.
Yep.
He said before he was drafted, he wanted to be in LA. That's where he wanted to be. That's why he moved his house to LA. That's why he moved all his cars, like we were talking about earlier, to LA. He doesn't give it. Listen, he doesn't care about winning championships. All that he cares about.
Ben Simmons cares about Ben Simmons.
Exactly. He doesn't care about winning championships. He cares about getting all-star games because that's another couple $1,000.
He's literally the human version of the Doc Rivers Clippers, where it's just like they don't give a fuck about winning championships. They just want to look cool while they're doing shit. That's literally Ben Simmons. He wants to be the star. He wants the limelight. He doesn't give a fuck about winning rings.
Well, exactly.
All right,
I just can't wait for this to be over. And just seeing you two go at it was an absolute treat to witness that. That was great.
I mean, I don't really care about Ben Simmons anymore. It's just
nobody does. Nobody does.
Actually, no. You know what? Don't stop defending him because I'll bring it every week.
Nobody does. I don't care about him.
I haven't stand this guy.
I haven't cared about him in 4 months. The best thing he ever gave me was I got a brand new jersey just because of him.
And Benny says it perfectly. The problem is the longer this goes on, more other cities are going to see what he is. And I think
but here's the thing. The longer it goes on, they were talking about this on WIP, and it's perfect. The longer this goes on, the more teams who thought they were going to be in it and they were going to be like in the playoff hunt are sucking and sucking and sucking. And the more tempting that Ben Simmons deal's looking. Like, if you're the Kings who you thought were, oh man, we're a playoff team. We don't need to include so and so in this deal. They're looking more desperate by the day.
Yeah, but if I'm a GM, the last person I'm going to for help is Ben Simmons. That's the last person I'm going.
Look, you can say what you want about Ben Simmons. Like, he's a choke artist in the playoffs, but you know what?
He will put fans in the stands, and he will turn a non-playoff team into a playoff team. Will he choke in the playoffs? Yes. Will he help that team get to the playoffs? Yes. As a regular season player, I agree with you because we've seen what he's done.
He's a phenomenal regular. Like,
right.
That
will get to the All-Star game.
That will stretch to get them to the All-Star team, where he'll have his team go like 20-5. And he'll be putting up like 20, 26, 12, and 11. And it'll just be amazing. And he'll help his team just get to the playoffs. And then once the playoffs start, he'll choke. Like, this is his MO. I was his biggest fan, and I can say this with a straight fucking face. That's why when I talk about Ben Simmons, it actually fucking means something.
Does it though?
I was gonna say.
I mean, I say so because I've watched him.
I was a huge Ben Simmons fan too, but
so was I.
Here's where I'm gonna I will agree with you, Pete. Ben Simmons does have value, okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that he does have value is a lot to the point of Pete, what he made in terms of these teams that, let's say Sacramento, let's say I'm gonna say Cleveland, even though in terms of
they love him.
Colin Sexton, he's not gonna be a player that's available in this because he's injured. I mean, he potentially could be.
I love him.
But I would like him too. He's not the main piece. I would like a lot more in return for him, even though I know that's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, but you do have to go. Like the main problem is you off of revisions history, and you look at what Ben did in the playoffs, and that screws us.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, the best thing that we could have happen is Ben come back and be like, all right, I'm going to suck it up. Screw this. Let me just shut my mouth. Let me get on the floor. Just do my goddamn thing. And let's play ball.
It's just
no, I know it's that you don't have to tell me. I literally know it's not going to happen. But that's what needs to happen for this to get to the point where we can get something of value.
Exactly.
Look, I'm just waiting for him to go off and become LeBron Jr. I just know it's happening. I know it's going to happen because it's
going to happen once he leaves. That's
it is.
Once he leaves. I don't even think it's going to happen when he leaves.
I do because it's Philly. This is exactly what happens.
That's where I'm at.
It's just like I'm just tapping the watch a little bit.
I'm sorry. When did LeBron do this? When did LeBron have an issue? When did any great player just stop and be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing this. I'm going to sit down and be like, you know what? It's time to put my feet up and be like,
no, they don't. But life. It's the most Philadelphia thing ever. He leaves.
Oh, it is.
It is. He'll leave. He'll go to a city that's nowhere near as great. And then for whatever fucking reason, like he'll go to the Kings, and all of a sudden he'll be shooting like 38% from three. He'll be shooting mid-8 game jumpers, and he'll be averaging 75% from the line. Like it's just, it's just, I just know what's happening. It's gonna happen. Like I can literally set my watch to it because I've done this time and time and time and time again. It's just like it's like your favorite TV show. It's like rinse and repeat. You just know what's happening. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, because it's Philly. I'm with you there, Pete. I'm with you right there. I said it for a while. Once he leaves, he's just going to ball
I just don't think he has it in him. I'm going to be honest.
No, and I agree.
I don't think he has it in him.
I agree with that, too. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, does he? Probably not. But, like, am I just waiting for it to happen?
A possibility. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with both
it's
you guys.
There.
90, like I'm 90% sure it's gonna happen. Like obviously there's my 10% where it's just like, yeah, he could just fucking flop elsewhere. But given the history of Philadelphia athletes leaving
that don't work out and they end up leaving,
I feel you.
DeMarco Murray, that's one.
But
again, they didn't use DeMarco right. So
wouldn't he have like a Pro Bowl season the next year?
He had like two great years with Tennessee, and then he retired early.
Yep.
I've always loved DeMarco though. DeMarco's always been my guy, even though he's a career Cowboy. He's always been my guy. I've always liked DeMarco, but
I love him.
See, this is what Ben Simmons does to everybody. This is what Ben Simmons does to everybody.
I'm just so sick of talking about
freaking hate him.
We've talked about him for like we're literally coming up on my year anniversary at A2D, and like that's literally all we've talked about in the last year is Ben Simmons.
It's insane.
You still didn't get your jersey yet, right?
No, he's taking his sweet fucking time.
Well, Christmas is coming up, Pete. So
yeah, right. Hey, Johnny, that's
right around the corner.
Fucking tree. I'm just saying.
Stocking stuffers.
I already like new Johnny more than old Johnny. Like we just had a shouting match, and I already like new Johnny more.
I'm not going anywhere, boss. So get used to it.
Now they're best friends. Now they're best. I love it.
No, that's what family is. Family will look you straight in the face and call you a cocksucker, and then like you'll hug it out 2 minutes later. That's
hung
literally
out.
my
Yeah,
friendships
exactly.
with everyone. I could call
Yeah.
someone a blimey motherfucker, and then I'm like, hey, let's go get beer.
Like, all right, whatever.
I don't give a
Cheers.
shit.
Yeah, me,
My,
me and Pete
like
have
seriously, people are like, "Oh man, how can you talk shit to people like that?" I said, "Please, my father says worse things to me than people I meet."
exactly.
And I'll be like, "Hey, Dad, what's for you?" My
Yeah,
dad can
tough
call me
skin,
everything
man.
under the fucking moon, and he's like, "Oh, let's go get dinner. Sounds good."
Tough skin.
Pretty much. But let's get into our next topic before we get into it.
My last
though.
topic, most likely.
Yeah, pretty much.
Running
Our
on
next
fumes
topic is
here.
brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. Check out our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, located in 2 locations in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's our doc. Make him yours. If you have a lingering sports injury or any ailments like that, call the best Specialized Physical Therapy LLC at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Dr. Paul Vidal. He's our doc. Make him yours. So now we can get away from Ben Simmons. Thank God. So what we're going to do is give our week 12 picks. So let me pull that on up real quick. That's bad on me because I didn't have it ready to go. 1 second. All right. So you can give winners, losers. If you have bets in, by all means, please fill in your bets. But all right. So starting off at the 1 o'clock slate, Steelers at Bengals. Who do we got? Where'd everybody go?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I don't know where Pete went.
No, I'm straight. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you're good.
You want to go Pete? You want to go Peter? Or you want me to go to Steelers Bengals? All right.
Tie.
I got
Tie.
I'm giving you scores. I don't know if you all give scores.
0-0
do whatever you
tie.
want.
21-17 Bengals.
Okay. 21-17 Bengals. Still
0-0 tie.
Still close. Okay. Yeah, let me pull it up on FanDuel here so I can give the odds as well.
All right.
Bengals are favored by 3.5.
There you go.
So it's basically a pick 'em since the Bengals are at home. But let's see. The next game, Tennessee at New England. New England's favored by 7. It's a lot of points.
No, Tennessee.
Yeah,
That's a lot of points. This is a tough one too because now Mac Jones is coming into his own. My rookie of the year bet's looking great.
It's Tennessee. They're literally winning games without their best player.
What's your you got a play as far as the score?
It's probably
I got my score written down, so
22-14.
you ain't gonna like it. What is it?
22-14.
I'm going to say 27-24 Pats. 27-24.
I got 28-17 Pats.
Ooh, okay. Like that. Now, the Trash Bowl, as I like to call it, of Week 1, the New York Jets at the Houston Texans. Texans are favored by 2.5.
Everyone and their mother should be rooting for the Texans because then that's only going to help our pick.
Pretty much.
Got Pete.
So I guess I'm a Texans fan this weekend.
Was it probably 28-7 Texans?
I got 24-13 Texans.
I'm right along the same wavelength. I got 27-13 Texans. All right, so we talked. Actually, no, we didn't really touch on it much. But Eagles at the New York Giants. The Eagles are favored now by 3.5.
It's a blowout.
I think it's a blowout, really.
I do.
Got
Pete.
Okay.
32-14 Eagles.
Wow.
You got it. All right. You're around the same number as me, generally speaking. I got 34-17 Birds.
34-17. Wow. Well, I guess, yeah, when you look at it, no Kadarius Toney, most likely. Both of their 2 tight ends are out. I think all that they have is Evan Ingram, and that's it. Sterling Shepard, like I touched on earlier, I feel like half of his career he's been hurt, which is a shame because I was a big fan of him. But
Ball control.
Yeah, exactly. Ball control, time of possession, like Dan talked about at the beginning of the show. I just don't see the Eagles slowing down. Now, again, their corners are a bit better than guys that we faced recently, but I don't know. Division games always give me like a weird vibe for whatever reason.
I feel you.
They always give me a weird vibe. But you know what? I think the Eagles roll. Give me, I'm going to say 32-18, and the 18's in garbage time. That's what I say.
I like it. I like it.
So let's see here. Now, this I think is the game of the week, in my opinion. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Indianapolis Colts. The Buccaneers are favored by 3.
I'm going to say Indy. I'm going to shock the world. I mean, they whooped that. Brady's
Bills,
having
right?
a tough time.
Yeah, but he's kind
Give me
of
a score. I thought we gave scores, man. I'm like, I'm hurt. I did my scores and everything. Come on, Pete. Give me a score. You're hurting my heart, man.
Was it 27-20 Indy?
Okay.
27-20 Indy.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's coming to. I believe at this point he's entered the MVP conversation.
Who would have thought you give Carson Wentz a consistent run game? Wow, never would have suspected such a thing would happen.
So Indy has, they got they're on the lower half of run defense in the league.
Yep.
So they're coming for him. It's a matter of time. And I got 31-28 Colts as based on the Bucs running defense and the Colts running game.
I have no running game.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be, like I said, rolling back to that time of possession game. And I know I'm going to sound like an old time football guy, only being 30 something, but.
But yeah, I don't know. This is going to be close. Now, again, for people,
I like how the Colts offense is basically that one episode of Hey Arnold where it's just like give the ball to Tucker, and it's literally just give the ball. It's all right.
Give it to Tucker every time.
It's like, what do you do? I shoot the ball. No, you give the ball to Tucker, aka Jonathan Taylor. Just give the ball to Tucker.
Give it to Tucker and you'll win.
Just give it to Tucker. Stop throwing. You don't get to shoot the ball. You give the ball to Tucker, aka Jonathan Taylor. Or you throw it to Michael Pittman. That's it. Those are the only two people who are allowed to touch the ball.
Yeah.
And maybe Zach Pascal.
So for people that have been paying attention with the whole Carson Wentz snap count, he only really, as far as percentages go, for us to have the first round pick, he only needs to play 2 more games.
Yep.
He only needs to play 2 more games, and then we have
it.
Unless they make the playoffs, which then you can just lock it up at that point. But again, I for selfish reasons, I need the Colts to win.
Yep.
So, but again, I think it's going to be close. And I've said it for a while. I think the Colts defense is very, very underrated. I've said that for a while. I think
people only talk about the fact that he's a Chargers missed kick and a Ravens missed kick from having 8 wins.
Yeah.
All right, Rick. You know what I'm going to do, Rick? I'm going to screenshot that.
I'll shave my head if the Eagles lose. Okay.
So I can.
How much?
Back.
You have a lot of hair like me?
Holy shit!
I mean, you gotta have like a head full of hair.
Dan,
wait. Yo, I know Rick. All right, Ricky.
See, I would do something like that, except I love cutting my hair, so it doesn't really matter. It does nothing. Or I'll shave my head. I would. It wouldn't mean anything to me.
It'd be therapy.
That's my niece's. That's my niece's boyfriend. I know Rick.
Oh, cool. Okay. What's up, Rick?
That could be good or bad.
So if the Eagles, here's what's gonna happen. If the Eagles lose, I will be shaving his head, and I will be posting it directly to A2D Radio.
I want it live on air
Page.
I love this. I
want it live on air.
What do you call it? Send it to me. Oh, God, that'll be glory. See, look, don't make me hope the Eagles lose now just for that. Don't do that to me. Don't do this to me.
I mean, I don't want them to lose. Come on.
No, I don't either. But again, I'd still love to see that. But all right. So, like I said earlier, for my own selfish reasons, I want the Colts to win. So, give me the Colts. I think it's actually going to be a little closer than what people think. Give me 27-30 Colts. I think it's just a barn burner.
I like it.
Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who is it?
The Falcons against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'll go Jags. Like
Jacksonville.
21-7.
Yeah, both these teams stink. Both
This
these
is
teams
true,
just flat out
but-
stink.
The Falcons are so bad.
Falcons, yeah, but the good Jaguars are bad too. They did beat the Bills though. Give me the Jaguars. It's gonna be, I'm gonna say 21-13 Jaguars.
I got 14-10 Jags.
No, I was gonna shoot for a lower score too.
Yeah.
That's where I was looking, but I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe the Jags offense does something. Carolina Panthers at Miami. Carolina's favored by 2.
Go, Pete.
Who was it? The Panthers and what?
Dolphins.
Panthers at Miami.
Go Panthers.
Yeah, keep pounding. Cam's back.
Super Cam, come on, Super Cam.
Exactly. Give me Super Cam on Sunday.
I
So we
wanna-
can get
I
a
swear
better
to
draft
God.
pick.
If Cam Newton only came back for like to be good for one game, and then the rest of it, like I'll be mad because
Don't be surprised
actually-
though.
yeah, like it won't be. But like, dude, can you just? It's Miami. Just kick their ass. Come on, bro. Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
like a Miami loss and a Houston win is like literally the best thing that could happen. Because you're looking at like
yeah.
that pick's probably back at 5.
Right.
I
All
got,
right. So go ahead, Dan.
I got 21-10 Panthers.
Oof. 10 spot. And I think 2 is starting, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Panthers
Yeah,
defense
two is-
ain't nothing to choke about
No.
at
Not
all. And Dolphins offense is just kind of comical.
You got Mike Gesicki, and it looks like Mac Hollins is actually
Yeah.
showing up. A
Yeah.
little bit.
Like it's I would be surprised, honestly, Jake, if they put up 10 points, to be honest with you. I'm giving them
I would too.
kind of,
It's crazy too, because you draft a guy in Tua to be your franchise, and the guy that was drafted behind him in Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
It's insane. Tua just flat out stinks.
Well, I told everyone that when they drafted him, he was going to be garbage because there's
Yeah.
like I can't really name any good Alabama quarterbacks. Maybe Mac Jones can change that.
Mac Jones. I mean, there's a couple. There's a couple that have been.
Tua
good.
got screwed because of injury. I'm gonna be real.
No, because he wasn't.
well,
Because
that's
they
fine.
kept putting him up and down. He was up and down like when he was healthy. Like
He had a solid
He-
stretch at Alabama, but again,
yeah,
like
he
you
had the
said, he
skill
just
set.
can't stay
Yeah.
healthy. He
Yeah.
can't stay healthy, and just I don't know.
the fact
Lefty
that you
quarterbacks
could just
always
tell
stink.
they didn't believe in him as a rookie when they kept like he was winning games and then they just like nah, we're gonna go with Fitz.
You could say the same about Jalen at
No,
at Bama. Yes, you could.
I'm talking about the
yeah.
NFL though. I'm not
Come on.
talking about
All
talking
right.
about college though. I'm
All
talking about the NFL.
Well, Bama's essentially a
No, it's not.
It's basically the NFL.
it's an NFL program.
At that-
It's an
at that point.
It
an
is.
NFL.
It
It's
is.
an NFL breeding ground.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But all right. So got a couple games left. Let's knock these out quickly, and then we'll get into some of our callers. I see Todd waiting in the back, so I don't want to keep him waiting too long.
I don't wanna
Los
keep my
Angeles
bad
Chargers
waiting.
at the Denver Broncos. Chargers are favored by
Chargers.
2.5.
Chargers.
You give me
Okay.
Chargers all day.
Chargers
all day
24-13.
long.
Yep.
24-13. I'm going to say 27-10. Minnesota Vikings at the San Francisco 49ers. Now,
Vikings. Probably.
here's what I'll say. And I tell everybody, never bet the Vikings on anything. Unless you're doing like player touchdowns or stuff like that. But if you're doing like money lines, over and unders, never bet anything involving the Vikings because they always end up screwing you. when you think it's a game they're going to win, they lose. And when it's a game they're supposed to lose, they always tend to win for whatever reason. So I just can't. I can't trust them on betting.
To the Vikings fans who keep bringing up Justin Jefferson, the Eagles fans, we won the Super Bowl in your home stadium, and you have a losing record with Justin Jefferson. So, I mean, I'm cool. It's okay.
24-17 Niners. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
38 to 7 Niners.
38 to 7. Okay. Give me.
You go for blood, Pete.
Well, it's their favorite. It's their favorite score.
Oh,
Give me
I like
well
it.
done.
I
Well
like
done.
that.
Give me 20. Give me 27-17 49ers. Now, this one's interesting. The struggling Los Angeles Rams going up against the Green Bay Packers.
I go Packers.
Okay.
27-24 Packers.
34-28 Packers.
I'm gonna say 24-21 Packers. Let's see. The Sunday night game. Here we go. Cleveland Browns against the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by 3.5. Lamar Jackson was a full participant today at practice, so he will play on Sunday.
Boo! I'm gonna go Browns just because I hate the Ravens.
Shocking.
Woo!
Shocking.
20.
Oh my God.
If there was ever a time for Baker, there was ever a time for Baker Mayfield to snap
You
out
on
of
that
it.
juice.
27-21.
You are on
Browns.
the juice right now.
Yeah, I am.
Listen,
All right.
Listen, Baker's body's falling apart right before,
It
our eyes.
My
His body's
man's
falling
hurt
apart.
right now. He's hurting.
Listen, he's got a torn labrum. He's a
He's
mess.
He's literally that patient in operation where you're just trying to put everything back to where it's supposed to be.
But here's the thing, though.
You know
If
what
Baker
he is?
Mayfield- If Baker Mayfield was in this city, he would be beloved in this. I don't care what anyone says. If Baker Mayfield was our
For his
quarterback,
personality.
oh, absolutely. For his personality, his toughness.
He's a great.
honestly,
People are like, oh, he's just a bum. I say he was like a top 10 quarterback last year for a stretch. Like, seriously, like, this is a guy I've watched him win a playoff game on the road without his fucking head coach. Like, are you kidding me?
He's Chase Utley in terms of personality wise.
He would be
just being hard.
People would love him here. Like, people
Absolutely.
you can say what you want about Baker Mayfield, but like Eagles fans would eat up those commercials. Like, that's
absolutely,
hilarious.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
And
So
somehow the Philadelphia media is a little bit better than the Cleveland media. That's really saying something.
I got 30-20.
We amazingly don't call our quarterbacks midgets here somehow.
Is that what they did? They did that.
This media guy who hates Baker Mayfield. Prior to, he's like, if Baker gets drafted,
how tall is Baker Mayfield?
He's like 5'11". He's Russell Wilson height.
Dude, man, I hate that.
So he tried to infringe, like defame a Sports Illustrated writer for writing a positive Baker Mayfield story prior to the draft. He's like, well, you're just doing this because Baker's paying you. He's like, I work for Sports Illustrated. I wrote a story. That's all that happened. The best part about it is that same guy gets caught off air screaming, man, I wish I had Patrick Mahomes, not that bleeping midget.
Oh my God.
So he gets suspended for 3 weeks and then they bring him back.
Yeah, that's not cool,
and that's it.
And I'm like, that's it. Tony Grossi is my favorite part about Tony Grossi is he doesn't work for the Browns. Like he's an independent guy because they found him to be so unreliable in terms of his coverage that they fired him.
Wow.
So he works for like ESPN Cleveland or whatever that bullshit is.
All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna say real quick because I see Todd patiently waiting. I want to get this out of the way and then we can bring Todd on. I'm gonna go Baltimore Ravens. I don't know. This one's tough. And like I said, Division games are always weird. I'm going to say Ravens 27-24 Ravens. Monday Night Football. Seattle Seahawks at Washington. Washington's only favored by 1. So it's
I'm going Washington. Seattle sucks.
I'm going Washington too.
Yep.
I'm going Washington. Give me 21-14 Washington. Just their offense just hasn't been.
I'm close
what it
with
was.
you. Seahawks. I feel like Russ was his second week back from being
The finger surgery, yep.
Yeah, being acclimated with. There's no way Seahawks don't win this game. 24-14 Seahawks.
Fine with me. All right, so since Todd's been patiently waiting, hitting up my DMs and asking to come in here per usual.
Trying to slide in now. Your girlfriend better be worried.
I love you, Todd. What's up, Todd?
Wow.
I see this guy every week.
What's going on, Johnny, or New Johnny as you've been monikered?
New Johnny.
Johnny's
feeling great.
I'm actually feeling kind of hurt because I am the third guy, But I appreciate.
No, that's not true.
Appreciate it to always come on.
I can be the fourth guy. I don't care, man.
I mean,
I've seen you in weeks.
Tom's not even like one.
We could share.
At one point, it had been so long since Tom had been on the show. It was literally just me, Jake, and Todd running things.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd would only come in Todd would come in like halfway through.
Yeah,
and still deliver excellent content and give you that reality check.
Hey,
you got to get that reality check.
Man, you're the Ricky. You're Ricky Leday. You're the perfect.
Ricky Leday.
You're the perfect. You're the perfect off the bench hitter.
You can't. I would say Matt
you know what?
Stairs,
you know
man.
what?
I would give him Matt Stairs.
I picked Ricky Leday because Ricky Leday is my favorite bench player of all time.
Matt Stairs brings the rings.
No, I love Ricky Leday.
I'm
more
sorry,
than I love
guys.
Matt
I'm
Stairs.
sorry. If you're gonna bring up any bench players, call me Ori. Okay, I bring the rings. Okay. When I come off the bench, I'm bench shot Ori. Okay,
See,
I knock it out the
that
park.
doesn't count because I had to pick like the one random like Philly bench guy that like people would just be like, wait, what? Like, would you rather I have used Tomas Perez?
I just said Matt Stairs because you said baseball. To be fair, I gave you the ring, my man. I gave you the ring in baseball. If you said basketball, I'm all right. I'll give you Robert Horry.
Thank you.
I'm fine with that. Bring them on.
But no, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little quick rundown. I'm gonna start with it. Let's go ahead and knock out Ben Simmons because he reminds me of the Wizard of Oz because right now he has no heart, he has no courage, and right now he has no brains because
I love it.
Right now, we don't have to believe in Howard Eskin as far as being broke, but we got to talk about like that celebrity type broke when you're just constantly spending money to make yourself feel good about yourself. Because you got to remember, he's broken. That he's not just broke, he's broken because he's trying to do whatever he does. Hitting up all these Instagram models, trying to get back with Kylie Jenner. He's trying to find anything to pull up his self-esteem instead of just looking in the mirror and going to the basketball court, making yourself get better. If you want to trade, show up and play.
Oh, good Godfather.
You can't just say, "Oh, I want to trade," but you're not producing this year. What have you produced besides walking around with a cell phone in your pocket and looking sadder than Eeyore? But
Eeyore gets bitches.
Spot on.
But about this divisional game, I'm confident. I'm always confident when it comes to divisional games, but it does. This is the NFC East, and matter of fact, across the NFL all around. When it comes to division games, you just don't know. Everybody shows up for the divisional games. Here it is. I wish that we would have had that damn Red Rocket to play, coach one more time, but they got rid of him. So now we're kind of going in the game a little bit blind. Hopefully Miles Sanders. I didn't like how he was already starting coming off the IR because I knew he was going to have Russ, and that's why he dropped the ball. But hopefully he sees how, when Howard and Boston Scott hits the hole, I mean, you got to hit it. And you can't dance, and I've seen too much dancing. But I still believe in him. I think we'll pull it out. And as far as, I agree with the poll. Only reason because I know the Cowboys fans are already giving up the whole, we didn't have CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper.
Boys. We make noise. Playoffs.
But at the end of the day, I'm seeing a team that is losing, their identity. They're not closing out games. They're actually taking away the running, which I don't mind. And they're starting to get banged up. I know they're going to get back Lawrence and Mr. Smoke Weed all day. Gregory.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their schedule. They just replaced the Jets with the Cardinals game for us. But at the same time, I think the real scary team, I'm like you, Jake, is that Washington football team. It's just something about them. That's where I get nervous because I don't know what it is about that damn team, but we always either play down or we just have an off game, especially when we play in Washington. But hopefully, we can run the table. Right now, I'm just taking it one game at a time because it's just so stacked with divisional games. So I'm not even want to get ahead of ourselves. It's just like, I
completely understand.
I want to get to these two games at least, healthy enough to where we can get, Davion Taylor back, get Howard back, and come out that bye and finish up real strong. And hopefully by that time we can. I'm always wanting, like I said, I always want the division, but if we can slide into the playoffs, I'll be happy.
I'll take it any way I can get it. Any way I can get
exactly. it. Exactly. And new Johnny, give Hurts a chance. I know it's a passing league, but he is starting to trust the pocket. That's what I'm seeing. He's hanging in there. He's still trying to get used to the wide receivers. I'm giving
him another year. I'm giving him another year. I don't want people to irrationally think I'm not willing to give him another year. I'm looking at my eye test, and Tom told you guys the same thing. The first 5-6 games of the season. I still haven't seen it eye test wise, and I'm fine with that. If he can progress in terms of moving the ball, running the game. Whether it's out of the pocket and stuff like that, that's fine. But I just need to see a little bit more passing.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I know what you mean. Is because what it is, is trying to get it to be consistent. It's okay it's like this. You see it because you see the flashes, and that's where I think where the fan base and everybody has finally just came on board and just say, okay, let's give this guy one more year so we can see if he can be consistent. Because we see the flashes, we see, he can get the ball down the field. I don't want to hear about no more weak arm crap no more. He can get the ball down the field. It's just all about timing. Yes. Okay, when you throw that deep ball, either you got to be early. Or you gotta, it's like this. If you see him even, you gotta let it go, and that's where he's starting to trust that now. And it's unfortunate that he only can really trust Devontae, because I know what you mean about that's where you can start to separate that the good to the great quarterbacks to the elite quarterbacks when you can fit into tight windows. But he just hasn't trusted yet. He hasn't seen compared to where you see the wide open guy to where, okay, I can anticipate that open window. Sure. So he's still learning on that part. So I'm glad everybody's willing to give him a whole nother year, because damn sure need help on defense.
No doubt.
Absolutely. And since we wanted to talk about a little bit of veteran, free agency, I had asked Jake to send me a little list of all the upcoming free agencies, and
we went over
I'm already.
Huh? We spent 10 minutes on it, man.
Hey,
it was probably more like a half an hour, but yeah.
Exactly. I'll go there. I know how to.
We'll roll through it. I don't care.
Recap.
I can do this shit
I know
all
how to
night
do
as far as
recap.
free agents.
You're lucky you weren't here like a year ago, man. We were doing like 6-hour shows. Jesus.
Talk all night, man.
Good times.
Exactly.
No, dude. We started a show at like what, 9:30? And then
9
we didn't
o'clock,
stop
yeah.
until like 5 a.m.
Yeah,
That was
because I was
that
able
was
to
my
catch
fir-
the show.
Rolling, baby.
my first night at AGD, I did 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's
3.5
called putting in
hours
work.
were Rome bitching about Carson Wentz, but still.
Talking.
Well, that's what I
nonsense.
do. I know how to put in that work. But as far as just a quick little dab into what we could do in the off season. How did y'all like Marcus Williams, the safety for the Saints? Because
Yes.
I've looked at it as we're gonna do. I know we got 50 mil coming our way during the off season, and I'm looking at as far as veterans, we could get Marcus Williams because he's under that 26. He's only 26. We don't need to bring in no 30-year-olds or knocking on the door at 29. I don't want that kind of veteran because we're developing a young team. And right now we got to have that young veteran.
Yeah,
And
I'd bring Steven Nelson back for a year or two, but like I want to go young at safety. Like
that's what I'm saying. If you compare Marcus Williams with Kyle, if he falls to us or we can get close enough to him with Hamilton, I think that's our safety core.
Just think about
for
that.
A long time.
Like Slay, Nelson, Maddox, and your secondary is Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. That's fucking ridiculous.
And right now, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm actually starting to like Sauce a little bit more than Stingley, baby, because I'm seeing him play, and
Just because Stingley's not playing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I gotta go off of what's current. I can't go off the past. I know it worked out with Jamar Chase, but it's a little bit different when you're talking about on defense. When you're talking about you've been out with an injury, and here it is. I'm looking at Sauce. You're talking about a team that's literally fighting to make to the playoffs, and he's helped contributing in every game. That's what I love to see. I love to see consistency especially at corner, because if you get beat, you gotta shake it off, and he very rarely gets beat, and he's always around the ball, and I can't beat that. But I do get worried as I'd rather just completely draft on defense. And as far as the veteran wide receiver, I had wrote it in the chat. I group Kirk, Gallup, and Godwin all in that same group because they all like Godwin and Gallup. You just see it. Like you just see it. Kirk, you haven't seen it that much because he hasn't had that opportunity. It's hard to get an opportunity
Gallup's
when you're
gonna
talking
make more
about
money though.
I'm cool.
I'm just it's good. Well, you could say blank check, but it's going to be a lot more than Kirk.
Exactly.
And whatever any of them want.
I'll take Kirk.
If you're one of those 10 to 15 guys we talked about, whatever you want, just write a number on a piece of paper. You got it.
I'm just saying, Pete. Like our resources could go towards a lot more.
This is true, but you're gonna have like 10 plus draft picks in terms of guys you could draft. Not to mention the fact that you guys from this year's draft who are gonna grow more into their own. So I'm willing to. I need a wide receiver. I need wide receiver too.
Here would be my question to both of you guys, Jake, if you're still there.
Hello.
If you had the option right now to invest a high, I don't want to say a high profile, let's say mid to high free agent on either a secondary wide receiver, let's say Gallup, let's say my man from Tampa Bay.
Godwin.
Godwin, yep. Godwin, yes.
Godwin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Kirk because I feel like Kirk is that second step down, and you're going to save money on him. And let's say transferring that money, which I would do, and I will put that money into a quarterback because I like Nelson,
There we go.
but I don't like Nelson enough to be like, all right, I'm good. I'm not looking on the outside.
No, you obviously are going to still draft a corner, but like I'm not going to. I think he's done enough to at least get a year or two. Like I don't think there's any young corners that are going in this draft that I'm going to pay like a lot of money to. Like
No, I'm saying the free agent market. I'm not saying drafting.
But there's not really that young cornerback that's going to be in the free agency.
Yeah.
No.
There's no. I don't think there's a young cornerback that you're going to get in the free agency that's going to be like that's going to make me like, all right, I'm not going to pay Steven Nelson.
So
that's the thing. I'd rather bring Nelson back like under like a 2-year deal, maybe even 3.
I don't go any farther than that, Todd.
But most definitely, I mean, I wouldn't go past. Like that's what I'm saying. 3 is the max for me. Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely drafting some young corners.
Upgrade over guys like.
So I do 2 years, like $9 million.
There you go. Like that's what I'm saying. You're not going past 3. You're not going past 3.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. No more 3-15. 3 for 15 is the worst. Is the most I'd do.
I won't be against that.
And that final year might be funny money.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Howie.
Howie will push it back. Like
it'll probably be it'll be 5 years. It'll be like 5 years, 25, but like only 3 years count.
Right. But it's official.
Like the Darby contract a few years ago.
The one thing we definitely do not like. I know like the Brandon Brooks is knocking on the door of coming back right now. He does not need to. We do not need to change up this offensive line. We do not need it because they are mauling.
Jack Driscoll is playing at a Pro Bowl level.
What is that off the books, guys?
What?
Woo, that's a lot.
What is that off? That's at least $10 million off the books.
Absolutely.
Who?
Brandon
Brooks.
Let me see.
I think it's up to 15.
Big. Yeah, we gotta look into that because we're talking big money.
Like I'd rather keep Lane than Brandon.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, no question.
Oh, it's actually there's a 2022 out with it only being 15 million in dead.
Yeah, 15 million is.
But you can probably spread that out.
Yeah, you probably could if you wanted.
Exactly. Come on now, you know how he's good for spreading that money. He's not kicking that bucket down the road.
Yeah, with the way Herbig and Jack Driscoll have been playing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool. Not to mention the fact that you get Dickerson, what Dickerson's shown you, and the fact that Sayamalu's coming back and he's at a much better deal.
Yeah, you let Dickerson go until Kelsey's ready to retire. That's
Dickerson can play everything. He can play your guards and center.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like he could take you let him take Brooks's spot until Kelsey's ready to retire. Because he's clearly comfortable playing the guard spot. We've already.
Well, right now I'd rather keep Mailata and Dickerson on the same side. I mean, you do not want to.
I'm with you.
You do not want to face that left side.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm with you.
And then Nate Herbig and Jack Driscoll, and they done developed the bond because everybody forgets. Yes. I mean, right now Driscoll is playing the guard position, but you saw him play at right tackle, and he wasn't no slouch either. So you put Nate Herbig and Drexel. I mean, you got a solidified line for years to come, and then you still build it. And hey, Howie, slide Jeff Stoutland. What's it called? Our damn head coach. He don't need to know that Jeff Stoutland is making the same money as him, but I mean, he definitely deserves it.
Right.
Give him a little C note.
Yeah, just a little money underneath the table because, I mean, to take a guy, just a hunk of clay and mold him into just this man beast. I mean, my goodness. I mean, what he did to Davenport, I loved because he got tired of seeing his quarterback getting hit after the throws, and he just threw him on the ground and said, no more. And that's what you got to love. And that's where I'm like, as a quarterback, I mean, you got to be a leader. And at least we know Hurts can do that because he's got the locker room. You can't mess with the locker room.
He does.
I know it's a business, but at the same time, these guys are playing their hearts out for him.
Yeah.
And you just can't beat that.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and leadership's a big thing, right? Especially when you're talking about having a team of young guys too. So that's huge. And yeah, we said it earlier on the show, Todd, to where Jeff Stoutland doesn't get nearly the credit I believe he deserves. I don't believe he does.
Oh,
I don't know if
he's withstood three.
Very good.
He's withstood three coaching changes.
Yep.
That's unheard of in the NFL.
Well, absolutely, and to still get the offensive line to do whatever these coaches wanted them to do, and really get the best out of them. I mean, not just from the run blocking schemes or blocking in general, but I mean, even the passing. I mean, we saw, like, we was all worried, like we all clown Mailata like during the preseason games, and now look at him, the way he kicks back. I mean, he's moving so smooth. And he's getting those. I mean, what he did with that big guy just threw one arm. Oh yeah, what's my man? Cam Jordan, one arm.
He just
that's a 300-pound man.
He's a monster. He is a monster. Let's not get it twisted. He's a monster.
Yeah. Yes, and we was all worried about Dickerson earlier, but like I said, the whole
he's
scheme,
looking amazing.
I look around the whole NFL. I mean, I know it's a passing league, but if you see those teams that that can give you the most trouble, they are running the ball.
That 2021 draft class is looking better by the week.
It really is.
Like you're even the fact that you're even seeing guys like Patrick Johnson like show up, who's like your 6th round pick,
something like that,
is insane.
Well, and that's the thing. We finally letting these young guys get some playing time. I mean, you can't develop in practice all the damn time. I mean, you got to be in front of live bullets. I mean, you got to know what you can do, what you can't do, especially on the field, and really get the game speed. And we didn't do that with Doug Peterson era. I mean, yeah, we got the Super Bowl, but we went all in on the veterans, and we bit the bullet on it. I mean, and that's the thing about sometimes. Oh, go ahead.
Like, obviously, your 2019 draft class looks suspect as fuck. But, 2018 looks astounding. 2020 looks really great, minus Rager. And then your 2021 draft class is just looking stupendous right now. Yeah. So, those are young guys who are taking it's a large chunk of young guys who are taking the roles of veterans who shouldn't be on that fucking football team regardless. Instead of and heading into next year's draft, this just makes me feel very comfortable because you're going to have another high chunk of draft picks, and those 3 first-round picks are. I want all defense.
Well, we gotta keep the fingers crossed. I mean, right now we only got Devontae Smith, Andre Diller's a hand, and we already know about Rager.
No. I did say the 2019 draft is looking sus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Derek
2020 is looking good. And 2020 is looking great, minus Rager.
Yeah. And, I mean, just to give Rager some confidence, I mean, we might as well use him like a Debo Samuel. I mean, fuck it.
Yes,
he's a gadget guy. Let's just say fuck it. Let's use him as a gadget guy. I mean, let's go ahead, get him on some, some sweeps. Some weird handoffs. I mean, but
Patterson,
I'm getting tired of him looking like a straight up sad hammerhead shark. I mean, that's what every time they zoom in on him, his face
skill set as him though. Like we're talking about Debo Samuel. I haven't seen squat. I haven't seen a goddamn thing.
That's also true too. Because we're supposed to do Debo. I mean, Rager's supposed to be this burner, and he just looked like he's just running in quicksand.
Exactly. Yeah. You just said that he hasn't gotten the same plays, Pete, but he's gotten the ball in wide open areas.
I feel like they just give him the ball in the worst. I feel like they just, when they choose to give him the ball, it's in the dumbest fucking positions.
I mean, maybe so, but generally speaking, if this guy can make plays in terms of wide open areas, then make fucking play. I don't want to hear this bullshit. I don't want to hear.
I don't understand why you can't just throw him. And not every throw to him has to be a deep shot, though. You can throw him in the middle of the field. You can throw him on the
He's
side.
got
Like
shots in the middle of the. Are you kidding me? Are you seriously? Are you kidding me right now?
He's sitting up.
Come on, man. Come on. I don't
I'm
wanna
sorry,
hear that
like
crap right
not
now.
every throw to Jalen Reagor has to be like a screen at the line of scrimmage. Like, come on.
He's
Like,
gotten the same attempts that, in terms of like separation, balls placement, regardless of where it is,
I don't disagree.
as Devontae Smith. I literally don't want to hear that crap. I do not want to hear.
And for me, this is he's in his second year, man. Like there is no. It's actually he actually downgraded from his
he's got a
rookie year.
pedigree.
He got worse, yeah.
And he has a pedigree.
Because I never seen somebody that gets locked up. Like put a cornerback just as you tell that cornerback just puts a hand on him and he just immediately just stops. Like, I forgot my route. Like I'm just no good. And then if Jalen Hurts is moving to his right, that's when you see him at the last second, just pop into your screen, but he's not really showing that he's open or giving him a signal. Is really sad. I mean, I don't know what it is, if I don't know. You were supposed to go in the second or third round. Like, that was your grade.
No, he wasn't. I keep seeing people say that, but like every mock draft I saw had him in the first round. Every mock draft I saw had him between 18 and 24.
Right, but we drafted
and that's a high value second round pick. If you talking about from 25 all the way to 32, that's just a high value second round pick. Let's just keep that.
Everywhere I saw him drafted was exactly where we had him. Like,
but if you look at his draft combine and as far as his recap, a lot of it was pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you look at it,
he didn't run the 40. I don't think he ran the 40.
Exactly. 90% of his shit was literally pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about his father.
Exactly.
I don't care what your father did. My dad could be fucking Jerry Rice. I'm 5'3", 5'5". I'm not a wide receiver. I'm not putting up 100 catches. Get the fuck out of here.
I think a lot of people also if you watch, he made plays in college. He was creative in college. And he made plays with arguably the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
And that's what gave him his boost, because everybody was saying if he actually had a quarterback, what he could have done.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's and that's where you can get always misconstrued.
But I don't think it's a Marcus Smith. Like obviously, look, he looks like a bust right now. But this isn't Marcus Smith he's like a third round pick who went in the first round.
No
mock drafts had Marcus Smith going in the first round. Like I saw at least 40 mock drafts that had Jalen Reagor going in round one.
But I guarantee you, if you really played it out, he would have went in the second round with him and Denzel Mims.
I don't think so.
Because Denzel Mims was sliding up into the first round sometimes. I don't think so.
I think if we pick Jefferson, he just goes to the Niners. That's honestly what I think.
I know.
Shanahan really liked him.
What's his name for the Saints? Really wanted him too.
Yep.
Oh my God, why am I? Sean Payton said he wanted
Sean
him.
Payton.
But Sean Payton. Sean Payton did want him, but
I mean that's other people that want. I'm just looking at the product now.
I mean, it didn't work out. Like
when I'm saying you got Quiz
so many different ways.
I'd rather give Hightower a shot. I'd rather bring him on there.
I agree with that. I think Hightower can be used well. They just have to give him playing time. But I mean, they're not really using Quiz Watkins right now either. So
no. Well, I mean, they're using him. He's just not getting the ball. That's the issue. Well, the other crime is too. They're giving Reagor more snaps than Quiz, which is I get it. He's a first round pick, but still.
I mean, we gotta now we're in playoff talk. If we're gonna talk playoffs, I want players out there producing. Okay,
exactly. It's J-Draw
I'm not trying to. That's what I'm saying. Breakers
J-Draw season, man.
If we're gonna have Breakers out there, I'm like this because I'm trying to.
I'm just saying, when the playoffs are on the line, this guy makes catches.
Yeah.
Well,
he helped us win the game last week. So
Dallas game. Just saying that he had those two big catches in 2019 against the Cowboys. I was there live. I watched them.
Scott, down board. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still the ship has sailed for me on J-Jaw, but I mean,
you never know, man. You never know.
if he can slide in and give me that one catch, so be it.
There we go. It's gonna be a red zone threat now. I can feel it.
But it's just those two guys. I mean, I'm always trying to give these young guys some peps. Trying to hang my hat on for something. Yeah. But if you don't produce on the field and if you want to talk about making the playoffs, we need guys that's going to produce and be that short-handed catcher. Because I mean, we need explosive plays now coming down the stretch because everybody now got their eye on us. They know that we can run the ball. Unfortunately, we don't have Howard, so that's going to kind of hurt a little bit. And, that's why I'm hoping that Miles Sanders.
We got the giant killer.
Yeah, hey,
David knows how to beat Goliath's ass. I'm sorry. He's running for $120. He's catching for 110 and like 3 touchdowns. Let's go.
Hey, but I also get to see my man Gainwell back on the field. I mean,
are you though?
I like.
Yeah.
I mean, you can line them up
too. I just don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they'll activate them.
I mean, they'll have. They're gonna. I think they're
gonna have to at this point. Yeah,
just because
you have to.
But just because he's activated doesn't mean you can necessarily you have to run the ball with him because he's multi-dimensional to where
screen game wise he's
screen game you can use him in the slot as a wide receiver.
Exactly. I mean that too. I mean what we did in Atlanta game with the two running back set. I mean you can split him off to the side or split Sanders off to the side. I mean it's just giving that defense a whole nother look. Like okay, we gotta look out for this, and then you got 3 running backs that are damn near similar. Let's cut it. We only Howard is just strictly power. Between Boston Scott, Sanders, and Gainwell, they all that catching kind of running back or that slasher. They all kind of do the similar thing. It's just none of them are that bell cow like Howard is. Like you can just literally run them up the middle, and you can you're gonna get yardage. So
I honestly,
go ahead, John.
So I honestly don't think we've given, in terms of the last couple of weeks, I don't think we've given Sirianni enough credit.
Yeah, he's completely changed.
He's adapted. Exactly, Pete. He's adapted very well. He's changed up his game plan.
Yep. The creativity I saw in week 1 is finally back because I was just like. That was week 1 was the most balanced and creative game plan I had seen in like 2 years.
Right.
And I was just like,
what
where's this dude?
Hasn't done defensively, our offense has been, more creative and it's.
I don't like talking about
Gannon. Changed a lot.
Makes me sad.
Well, I look at it like this for Sirianni. Maybe, freaking hopefully Jeffrey Lurie told Howie to stay out of his ear or stop or that little giving him the binoculars, go look at quarterbacks and him and Jalen, because we know that they always hook up on Friday just to talking, one-on-one. And I guess he just finally looked at Hurts and say, look, man, I know they talking about trying to get another quarterback, but I'm not going to allow that on my watch. I want to make sure we put you in the best position. And so far,
Jalen they had to talk with him about running the football 6 weeks ago. But he went out of his way to change the color of the pants, but not the run game.
Hey, just like Marvel's What If.
That's a good point.
Just like Marvel's What If. Would have been running the ball those 6 weeks,
Not the run game.
To be fair, Sirianni was a play calling version before he came here. He never played. Yeah. He never called plays.
Just remember. Ever since we started talking about flower power, we've been winning. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
at the end of the year, I feel like Nick Sirianni has to make like some big donation to like a forest or something, or
he's gonna go to like the. He's gonna go like the flower festival or some shit.
No, he can donate like $10,000 worth of trees to like that they can plant in like a rainforest or something.
Hey, right now I'm just. After all the criticism, he's doing the Macho Man. He's riding.
That's what I should do the rest of the season.
You know what I'm saying?
$1,000 per rushing touchdown.
He took the criticism. He really evaluated himself. He realized he we're not no, run and gun, deep, greatest show on turf, trying to throw the ball all down the field, because even though we got some young wide receivers that can run, you're not built for that. You can't just have these big guys on your offensive line always dropping back and pass cover. Let them do what they do best. Let them run over some people. And that's truly helped out. So, I mean, Hurts is not Lamar, without a doubt. I mean, we know that. But what you can do is use what what God gave him. He got wheels. Help that, give something that defense on the other side something to think about. Now with everybody honed in on Hurts or they say they scared of him taking off, I mean, that opens up those passing lanes. So I think Hurts is going to surprise some people and really have a good passing day. I can't really give out any numbers because I know I want us to continue to run the ball. I don't want us to get pass happy in this pass happy league, because what we do best is just, getting that Philly mantra back. We fight. Fuck everybody else. We're going to maul your ass over. Brotherly love.
You better hope so. That's why. That's the way they're going to win.
Nasty. I mean, we got to get nasty. I'm loving that moniker. I mean, why we're not no finesse. We're not no, highlight reel team. We're gonna do what we're gonna do to get the dub. I mean, that's the first line in the column you look at. Did you win or did you lose? Nobody gives a fuck about if you threw 500 yards but you still lost.
Exactly.
A dub is a dub.
Exactly.
There you go.
Whether it's ugly or
exactly, I don't care how
you are what your record says you are.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you saw how tired that the Saints, not just their starting defensive line, but even the bench players was tired. I was like, that's what you got to do. That's I mean, that's an ultimate winning formula. What's that?
I said that's time of possession, baby. I've been saying that all goddamn night. That's what it is.
I mean, I'm sorry to say, I'm a student of the game. I mean, you can go all the way back to the first Super Bowl. I mean, even when the division we didn't have the whole AFC and NFC locked together. You won by running the damn ball. I mean, passing is nice, but there's nothing like when you imposing your will and you look at the coach and like, man, I don't have any answers. These guys are they're we can't stop them. And that's that's the word that you want to come out of that defense. We can't stop them. If you can't stop the run, I mean, what else is there to do? I mean, you don't need a pass. I'd rather beat you by running than passing any day, because you're putting that ball in harm's way. When you throwing that ball, that's a 50-50 ball. I mean, you've seen it when Big Slay took it to the house.
Yep.
Hey, if that cornerback is that good to know that route, know your anticipation, I mean, it's a toss up, man. I rather, I mean, when you can fumble the ball, at least hey, running back, you better get it together, or I'm gonna start somebody else. Compared to the quarterback, where you can't take the quarterback out unless it's like completely out of hand.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to keep riding. You got to keep riding with them. So right now, I'm loving this winning formula, and I'm like, hey, let's go. Let's not stop.
Right to the wheels fall off. Right to the wheels fall
Damn
off.
right.
I'm with you.
Hey, be a fucking convoy.
Canyon Arrow.
Let's get it.
That's how this line's been all year.
But I mean,
especially since we've run the ball.
Exactly. So, and for Saturday's game, hopefully Joel Embiid comes back. I'm really loving how our Sixers, even though with all the Ben Simmons talk, I mean, oh my goodness, Maxey, boy, nobody needs to ever put him in a trade with Simmons ever again. I know they got the same agent, whatever, but there's no way we're giving him up.
Hold on.
I do. If you depending on who you get back, I can do it easily.
Hold on. Yeah, no. I'm with.
It's not off limits.
So
I can't give him up.
All right, hold on. Let me just play devil's advocate here.
Let's play.
So it's not going to happen, But Bradley Beal wants out of Washington. They're asking for Maxey, first-round pick. Ben, you're saying no?
No,
just because of his age. If it was like a Bradley Beal when he was like 20,
that
he's
26,
28 years
all
old.
right.
He's 28 years old. I'm taking it. You know why I'm taking it?
James Harden, and whatever they want to throw out there.
Pete, let me finish
For Simmons and Maxey, I do it all day, twice on Sunday.
So here's
sorry,
why.
Donnie. He's a car salesman. That's what he interrupts people.
Oh no,
He's trying to sell you shit.
I don't need to sell anything.
Here's why I'm doing it. You got Joel Embiid, and you got a short window. Okay, you got a short window. I don't care what anybody fucking says. You have a short window, and when I'm saying short window, you got 4 years.
If that, yeah.
But are you willing to give up a hot young guy?
Yes, I am.
Just for
I don't have time for him to develop.
I don't even need to hear anything else. You know why I'm saying yes? Because he's never going to become Joel Embiid. I already know that. I know that. You can tell me whatever you want, whatever you think you're going to say. I know basketball enough to know he's not going to become Joel Embiid.
And I love it. I see what you're saying. I really do. But
I love Maxey. I love him.
If Joel Embiid was any other guy, I would agree with developing Maxey. But like he's had too many injuries, and the window is so short. I just don't have time to wait for this kid to become the next superstar.
Because that's a huge gamble. Because if you do that and we don't win a championship, now you're talking about really rebuilding the whole entire roster. At least I know with Maxey on this roster, my future is extremely bright. I can bring in young talent, and right now I can't risk, especially first rounders and a young guy for a 30-year-old. Where we know how these NBA players, it goes once you hit 30. It's like it's just a matter of time before that body breaks down. I know with Embiid.
I mean, Bradley Beal he's shown no steps.
I know, but it's just like I'd rather try to take him like if he opts out of his contract or something like that. I'd rather look for that way, but try to give up Maxey right now where he's tearing up the league. I just can't.
No doubt, I would love to keep him. Don't get me wrong.
Because
I'm just saying, if I had to give him up, I would, and it meant getting somebody at the level of somebody that's like a 3-tier scorer. I'm done.
Exactly.
Maxey's not a 3. He's not an elite 3-tier scorer. He's a 3-tier scorer. He's not elite yet.
True, but that's the thing.
I just don't think we have time to wait for.
We're not seeing no decline like compared to Simmons, or we gotta especially cater plays for him because he's facilitating the ball. He's moving the ball. He's actually moving around. He's playing decent defense. I mean, like now, I can't. That's why I'm like. He's stepping up to the plate. That's what we wanted out of Simmons. It's like, dude, like you got this kid is in his second year.
Yeah.
It's his second year and he's already out. Like we're saying Simmons who? Because we got Maxey.
Screw Simmons. This is what we expected in Fultz.
Yeah, Maxey is exactly what we expected Fultz to be.
Yeah.
You're talking about a kid like here's what I look at, okay? And basketball used to be like my third or fourth sport. It's my number one now. It's all I focus on.
Ooh.
Look at his turnover to assist ratio. Now, I hear a lot of people saying, all right, well, he's being passive with the ball. He's not wanting to do whatever. I don't care. He's turning over the ball 0 to 1 to maybe 2 times a game. As your primary ball handler, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
And especially in these games where Tobias isn't playing, Joel's not playing, and he's handling the ball a lot more than he's needed to have to. So it's there's a lot to be excited about.
And him and Steph Curry are proving like they're that duo. Like I'm glad that
Yes.
because it's always seemed like he's always been in the shadow of his brother. He never really got that accolades. I mean, especially in Dallas. I mean, they just like, how come you're not like your brother? So we're gonna ship your ass off. And right now he's coming into his own, and I'm loving it. And that's where it's like it's hard to turn that down for me when you're seeing young guys is climbing up that ladder of being elite. Like you seeing it develop, and as much, and I love Embiid, I really do. And I know, if we're trying to hope that he takes care of his body. At least he's not like Zion Williams, where he just let himself go all the time. I mean, I remember we went through that little stage.
Came into camp at 300 pounds.
Yo, that New Orleans, I will tell you from experience, as somebody who travels to New Orleans with my wife, that food is legit.
Oh, I believe
and
it.
that shit will get to you.
Oh yeah. I mean, you talking about from, if you were like, I'm a seafood lover, and
Yes.
boy, you like from oysters to, and then the bag nets. I mean, oh my God, like it's just not one. It's going to be wind up turning into 3 or 4, and it's just easy. I mean, like, it's understandable how he blew up, but it's. Right now, we're definitely in that limbo because of Simmons, because we know that. Granted, I mean, he is an all-star player, but we need that contribution, and paying $200 million. I mean, that's the sad part. How is it that you just got the contract and then you want to turn around and say you want out? If you wanted out and you wanted to go to LA, you should have became a free agent. You should have said, no, I don't want to return. Go ahead and sign Jimmy Butler. I want to go. I want to try to take my talents to LA. We would not have. We was like, see ya.
Yeah.
At least we know we had Jimmy Butler. But like everybody else, and especially me, I went with the younger guy.
Yep.
Went with the younger guy that played defense. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We all went young. I mean, like we all love Jimmy Butler, but we was like, we got to have the young future. And right now, this is, a selfish asshole. I gotta say it, man, because I mean, you telling everybody that you paying him $200 million and you don't want to show up. Like,
Fuck
really?
this guy, man.
Right.
You got people that's showing up to work for $10 an hour.
Even less than that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like stop. What's up?
I said, speaking of selfish assholes, I'm heading off to bed, boys.
All right, Pete.
Yeah. Good luck filling that car, man.
Yeah, right. I need 4 cars tomorrow to hit 50. So
there you go.
Woo, you got it, bro.
Get it?
Yeah, 50 shows. 50 shows this month, which is not bad.
There you go.
There you go. You got it, man.
Yeah, all right, I'm trying, man. All right. Night, everyone. Good work, new Johnny.
Get the hell out of here, Pete.
Johnny.
Yeah, new Johnny.
It's
New
Dan.
Johnny.
Get it right. Dan
New Johnny.
the man.
Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Yeah,
All right,
night, new
see you,
Johnny.
Pete.
All right, later, Pete. Whoa.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Extras
There we
moved in.
go. There we go.
But no, I mean, right now, is that Pacers trade still up?
I think we're screwed because of the Malcolm Brogdon extension.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm with you though.
So
So I took that.
My whole thing with the whole Beal and Maxey thing, like I get the player that Beal is, and it gives you a chance to seriously contend for a championship with Joel Embiid. And I'd love to see Joel win a championship, but it's not guaranteed, right? Nothing in this world's guaranteed.
Exactly. I mean,
but here's my thing, and I get where Dan's coming from, to where he would make that deal in a heartbeat because you're become a serious contender for the NBA title, and the Sixers haven't won a title since 70.
Says Dr. J, baby.
Yeah,
since Dr. J. So
yeah.
all the way back in the 70s. And if you can win a championship, great. But again, it's that uncertainty, right? And you're trading away your potential future after Joel Embiid leaves. And that's my concern, right? To where I still want this team to be relevant even after Joel's gone. So
exactly that you don't want to go into obscurity.
Right. And with the high ceiling that Maxey does have, and again, this is just me, right? I just don't feel comfortable making that move unless you're talking about like a real top tier. And I'm not saying Beal isn't, but unless you're getting like a serious star, like like a Durant
like
type,
I wouldn't even take.
I know that's
like,
not going
to
to
tell
happen.
you the truth, I wouldn't even take Dame, man. Like I love Dame. I love some Dame time.
I think Dame and Bradley Beal are on the same level in terms of actual player.
And that's what I'm saying. It's the way I look at it. With the league now talking more about Maxey, you don't think like if you kept him, you don't think that he can draw in those other free agents?
After
those
big
not
players,
right now. Not
after
right
a couple
now.
years.
I mean, like if he keeps on developing,
absolutely.
You
oh, sure,
exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So here's
and that's
the thing.
where I'm.
Here's my kind of idea as far as looking at it. I understand that, and him as far as being a clutch sports player, as much as it like irks me to say, because I know that the BS that we're dealing with the other prima donna that's on the same payroll, they hire and they're employed by a lot of these guys. So like you guys are right. Like and it's a good point. Like they are all friends, they talk together. So at the end of the day, like it's hard for me not to watch Maxey every night and see him blow buying guys every single night and just him like viciously just taking it to the hole and just finishing something that Ben Simmons should have been doing every single night at 6'10", and he can't do because he's soft. But Maxey can do it at 6 foot, no problem.
Yeah,
but not only that, but Maxey is playing with Embiid. It's like Embiid. I saw him literally when Maxey gave him that look, like, "Hey, I'm coming down in the paint." He moved out the way.
Yes,
like that's what I'm saying. There is no excuse for Ben Simmons to say that I don't need Embiid on the whole entire court because he's in my way of driving. If anything, that's what teammates do.
He helps.
Yeah, it's like that's that communication. You know, hey, you want to tell me you're going to drive? All right, give me that look. Like, don't give it away, but give me something. We got to work together. And he's definitely he definitely played his hand to thinking that he was bigger than what he is. You know, and he got. And he can act like that playoff game didn't affect him, or try to downplay it. That was fucking huge, because that showed me everything I need to know.
Yep.
If you're in the playoffs, if you're here to really win championships, you definitely didn't show it through that whole entire playoff run.
No.
I don't. This is Philly. We dogs, man. Like we can talk as much shit as a Cowboys fan, but we ain't afraid to punch you in the damn mouth like a Browns fan.
Exactly.
That's it. I love it.
I'm the kind of person that if you want to trade, I want to bring in a dog. You're getting traded. We're getting Jalen Brown or DeAndre Fox, because those are the only two guys that I want to bring in that I feel comfortable paying them right off the gate.
Yep.
And giving up 2 how many first round picks that I know I'm secure for that longevity of future, because at the end of the day, you gotta equal out the value. Because if Ben Simmons goes off, I don't even give a fuck. Like that's where I love Dan Morley like this. When we trade your ass and you decide to play basketball all of a sudden and you want to become this franchise guy, we don't give a fuck, because we got a team. Exactly. You go to Sacramento, I hope you're happy in LA, but you're not going to the fucking playoffs, but you got your money.
Yep.
While we're going to playoffs and trying to win championships. So that's where at the end of the day is what as Sixer fans we should all want. Like you said, it's been since Dr. Dre has won the championship. We was lit when we went to the finals with Allen Iverson, but we knew we didn't stand a chance. But we still was happy about that game one.
Exactly.
he will be immortalized as the weakest professional athlete ever to play
Philadelphia
in the
sports?
city. Yes, no question.
Well, it's between
question.
him and Nami. It's between him and
Nope.
Nami.
It's not even a question.
I would put Nami too, but no,
Nami's up there. Nami's I would say he's a close second, but it's Ben because of the whole the extent of how this is dragged out.
Yeah, I see what you
know
say.
what I mean? How it's dragged out, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did not help that we had that live practice footage of him just walking around with his cell phone and just like did not care. That was the cherry on the top.
Car eating fucking lunch by himself and shit. Like
that's what we heard. We didn't see it, so it's like we could chalk it up like he say she say. But when you got live footage of a guy literally just more worried about his cell phone than actually running the play.
There's Molly.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
But
oh wow. Damn, he made sure we read that one.
Here's one thing here's one thing I'll give Namdi respect for. He landed Kerry Washington, so I can't hate the guy. He landed Kerry Washington.
He got the actress.
He got Kerry Washington, and she showed him how to act. So I mean, that part you got to tip your hat off. Just like Mr. Zimmer, putting in the Beamer over there. He snatched him a young one. I was like, boy, he's a smoke show.
I can relate. I landed a sugar mama, so
there you go.
Hey,
we can all relate.
Hey.
In some way.
Hey, sometimes as a man, you gotta know how to play your role, man.
That's
exactly.
You can't always be.
It is what it is.
Hey, you can't always be, the top dog. But hey, guess what? If your old lady treats you like a top dog, that's all that matters.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Trust me, there is no hate, no shame. Nobody. Hey, if you try to call call him a no man, hey, you doing what? A lot of women will tip your hat off too because you're taking care of the kids.
Right.
That's what it is, my man.
But we have anything else before we wrap up? Any final points, thoughts, concerns?
Is Inside the Ring going to happen over the weekend?
In this very ring will happen this weekend, yes.
All right. What about our kicking it stateside?
They have to figure out their whole schedule. They still have to figure out the show's still on, but they have to figure out their work schedule. It's a work scheduling conflict. So
all right, and then if you're not a member, you can always check out that Money Pot podcast and get you some money
on Sundays. Every Sunday,
I'll be at the Sixers on Monday with a bunch of people.
There you go.
Let's hope Joel's.
You got
back.
Your tickets already?
I did.
Okay.
Joel's supposed to be back Saturday. Let's hope he's back Saturday and Monday.
If it's not Saturday, it'll be Monday.
Yeah,
exactly.
Are we playing on Monday? Are we still on the West Coast schedule, right?
Orlando.
Oh, Orlando.
We come back. Yeah, we come back against Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't know we still had another West Coast team.
Yeah. It's been a bit of
the
a
return
tough
of Folt said that. That's funny.
Exactly.
Yep.
I don't think the Colts return will be as bad as some people are thinking. I don't think there will be like a huge boo. I don't think it'll be anything crazy.
I'm worried about him
because he didn't really leave on like a sour note.
Nah.
I mean, it was we gambled on the first rounder. I mean, I wish we would have took Lonzo Ball and that's another guy that showed improvement. I mean, he had the ugliest fucking shot of all time, but it went in. I didn't.
He completely
changed it. I mean,
improved every year.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to young guys, I'm like, how y'all want the check, but y'all don't show no improvement? Like, that's ass backwards.
And here's what I'll say about Zoe. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is now. I never imagined he was going to be as good as he is now. I thought he was just going to be a regular, like a facilitator, nothing crazy, nothing special. But he's turned into a fantastic player.
Well, I mean, I think the league taught him lessons. I mean, you got to remember he came in with his loudmouth daddy. Overhyped him, and then you put him on the Lakers, and then on top of that, you bring in LeBron, so he got a little bit overshadowed. And you know how LeBron is. If it's not LeBron's way, he'll ship your ass.
Yeah.
So
he's an elite catch and shoot shooter now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he chipped his ass to New Orleans. You know, he kept on grinding, developing. He became a free agent. I mean, I wish we would have snagged him up, but he went to Chicago and he's proven himself.
Yep.
Especially in the town of Chicago. I mean, hey.
Well, I think that's a perfect fit for Lonzo too, because Lonzo's not like a rah-rah guy or anything.
Yeah.
Like, look at me and that whole thing. He's the complete opposite of his father. He's not even close to what his dad is. So he keeps to himself. He's a hard worker.
Him and LaMelo Ball. That's what I love about it. They're silent assassins. They don't need
LaMelo's going to be a problem. LaMelo's going to be
Melo will be a number one guy.
It's not even
no question.
And it's crazy how good he is now. That's the crazier part.
The thing that's going to hold him back from succeeding is Jordan. And, you know, we know his track record of trying to develop teams. And, I mean, I was living in North Carolina, so I got it firsthand.
Right.
You know, so it's definitely one of those where, for me, loving North Carolina, I really don't want him to go anywhere, but you can definitely see a situation to where he might leave.
That's the crazy thing, too, right? You're the greatest basketball player to ever play. You own a team and you just can't build a winning team.
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
I mean, could you imagine if they would have kept my boy that went to the Boston? I forgot his name.
What the hell is his name?
Kemba?
Yeah. Just imagine him and Melo right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like Kemba hasn't been the same though the past couple of years.
He hasn't. It's the injury, man.
Yeah.
Well, the injury, and it's just something when you gotta adapt to that. Like, you gotta want to adapt to that Boston moniker. You know, that mentality. And I don't think he was ready for that.
Maybe
he
didn't play defense. He didn't play defense. He didn't play a lick of defense.
How old is Kemba now? He's like in his 30s, right?
He's in his 30s. I think he's like 31, 32.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's towards the tail end of his career, especially since he's a smaller guy. It's tough as you get older.
Yeah.
But
I think that covers it. I mean, just hoping for Eagles win. Y'all already did the scores and everything. So
what's your score, Todd? What's your score?
For the Eagles and Giants, I'm gonna go with a 31-17 kind of game. I just got an inkling, like, besides us mauling them on the run game, I just think that Hurts might catch them sleeping in the passing game, because I'm not afraid of their secondary. That's the thing that I'm looking at. Their secondary is, besides Bradbury, who else they have?
They still have Logan Ryan, right?
He's not gonna be ready for.
He's not what he was. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we actually play Quez, I think Quez will burn them.
Yeah, they have Adoree Jackson too. I like Adoree. That's just my personal.
Well, okay. Well,
I like Adoree.
Adoree's in the slot, right? Or is he on the outside?
He's on the outside just because of his speed.
Okay,
but he hasn't been anything crazy. They do have a safety though.
I mean,
who's a stud.
Their rushing defense is like garbage.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If they're gonna they're gonna at least put 7 or 8 in the box just to slow down our run.
You would think, yeah.
And that's definitely going to leave some opportunities. I mean, Goddard is he's developing. I mean, this is the first couple of games where he's now got the lead role in it. I mean, because he made a fantastic one-handed catch. I mean, I still don't know how he made that catch, but you know, some of the easy ones he did drop. You know, he's developing. I mean, I know we paid him and everything, but he has the talent. I mean, he's a great run blocker. He gets yak. I mean, it was crazy to see Ertz getting yak now that he left. I mean, that was the one thing that drove us insane. He just always went down.
It's always when they leave, Todd. It's always when they leave.
Yeah, I mean, if I look. You know what's funny? I saw Kamari Guje Hill making highlights. Houston,
right? In
Yeah,
Houston,
Houston.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Houston.
Hicks making. I was like this. Damn, we would have kept those two. That was our linebacking core right there. You got Davion
I
Taylor and
always-
PJ Edwards. That's our linebacking core for years.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh, what a mess.
What can you do?
But I mean, it is. I mean, hell, even Hollins is making highlights. I was like, oh my god, I thought he would have been out the league for how many
ridiculous.
injuries he has. Now he's down in Miami. He's fully healed and burning people.
I think he has 2-3 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
It's crazy for a guy that literally said he'd rather play special teams. What a world we live in. You're a professional
Absolutely.
wide receiver, and you're like, nah, I just want to play special teams. Okay, so you don't want to get paid. Sounds good. I don't have to pay you nothing.
But I do got I got my upset pick as the Colts versus over the Tampa. That's my upset pick.
That was
Okay.
mine too. 38-28
I like that one.
or 31-28 Colts. That's
I like
what I
that.
had.
I was gonna go like maybe a 24-20 kind of game.
I think it's gonna be
Okay.
high scoring. But I feel you. Either way, I feel you. I feel like the Colts are gonna win.
Because the Colts are gonna control that time of possession, and Father Time is like this. He hasn't. Tom Brady's still going, but if you're looking at them passes lately, it's not as
Yeah.
crisp.
Past
feel
couple
you.
weeks, yeah.
I agree. I feel
Can't
you.
argue that.
So I mean, it's going to be a good game, but I think the Colts now is just like they're clicking on all cylinders now, and they're only going to get better.
Damn, Joey. Jesus, 41-13.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
please.
Woof.
Be
I
done
was
at
like that.
halftime. I'm chilling. I'm chilling at halftime. I'll take it.
Right?
take
You
that all
know.
Halftime
I mean,
rolls around. I'm going for a walk. Why not?
Right? I mean, I know that. I mean,
41-13,
shoot,
wow.
that Saints game made us feel good, but damn.
Yeah,
He just said we're going to just.
41-13. Whew.
He said, "Fuck a division game, shit. We're going to just maul them."
We're just gonna kill everybody.
Right?
But fam, appreciate you guys as always, Todd. We love you. You know that.
Always.
Dan,
Love,
welcome.
Love right back.
Hell of an intro. I'll say that. That's probably one of the best intros that someone's had on their first show in A2D in quite a while. So your whole back and forth with Pete was brilliant.
It's great to be
Pete
here.
always needs that reality check because he goes on that non-relative stories on his rants.
Gotta put him in check every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a car salesman, so he's just gonna talk a lot of
We
shit
love
just
you.
to sell you on it.
Exactly.
But that's what makes him great. So go check him out.
Exactly. Love him or hate him, he's family. So
Absolutely.
whatever you think, you're stuck with him. So. But A2D Fan Friday is brought to you by Gleason's Bar, located at 6700 Mill Creek Ave in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or online at Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com. The website again is Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com. And listen, guys, the weekend's rolling around, and you know what that means. Nate Moss, Willie Vegas, giving you their picks for the weekend, making yourself a little bit of money. So become a member today. $9.99 a month. Perks include appearances on shows, members only live streams, shout outs, weekly sports picks, like I said earlier, from Money Pop Podcast, and Willie Vegas for your daily fantasy tips. They got you covered, making everybody some money, made Todd a little bit of money, made me some money. Help people pay their rent a little bit. We're just here to help you. $9.99 a month. Spend a little money to make a lot of money. Listen, Todd's had a couple 1K weeks, so
Man,
you're not hopping on yet.
I really should have put a bet down. Something told me to go ahead and bet on the Raiders, but I was like, man, the whole entire Thanksgiving games, I should stayed away because I didn't know.
That could have messed up your entire Thanksgiving there, man. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, it made my.
That would have been a long night.
Sometimes it was like this, it would have been an extra little cherry on the top to get some money. But you know what? Hey, seeing the Cowboys loss on Thanksgiving, you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's the whipped cream on top. Yep.
And seeing Skip Bayless coming in the next day, you knew it.
Did you guys see his video on Twitter or whatever the hell it was last night?
Oh yeah, he couldn't even say.
Oh
anything.
yeah.
What the hell was that?
I loved it.
I'm like,
That's
is
when
it-
you
That
know,
was
like
super awkward.
I'm like, is it-
Super awkward.
I'm like, is he shitting? I'm like,
Yeah.
is that what's
I thought he
happening? I'm
was
like, is he
too.
shitting
I
right
mean,
now?
he literally was. He was sitting. He was like
Like, 'cause he's
mentally
like,
and physically.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
don't know
watched
what
it
mentally
for
the hell
like
he was
10
doing.
seconds, and I got like 10 seconds into it. I was
Yeah, I
like,
felt
this-
uncomfortable.
yeah, I was like,
I
this is
felt
like really
dirty.
uncomfortable.
I
My like
felt dirty
my
watching
like
this.
6-year-old son's like, what are you watching?
What?
And I'm like, I have no idea.
Nothing.
I have
Nothing.
Well, well,
Nothing.
luckily enough,
No
I saw the
anything.
video in the montage. I mean, I got it. I got the Skip Bayless one. I was just like, okay. But then, lucky enough, Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. helped wipe that out. And I was like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it, Skip.
When I-
You're mentally and physically shitting right now, and just no words could come out besides the shit that was coming out your ass. So I understood.
Exactly. Listen, whenever the Cowboys lose, I always go to either Skip or Shannon first. That's where I always go. That's just my initial
I
reaction.
gotta fuck with my Uncle Shay Shay first because he always gonna pull out that yak and throw it up for us for that Cowboys, or take us to Chef Shay Shay and serve up them hot ales. You gotta love it.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny. But speaking of daily fantasy, we're also brought to you by FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today using promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. A $50 value. FanUp.com. Promo code is A2D for 5,000 bonus points. Again, a $50 value. Listen, if you like daily fantasy, with FanUp, no salary caps. You don't have to worry about a waiver wire. Nothing like that. Just make the best lineup humanly possible. You can use whatever player, like obviously within how you build your team. But like I said, no salary caps. You can use any of the players you want. Build the best team humanly possible. Win money, win other great prizes, game tickets, so on and so forth. I'm telling you, it's the way to go as far as daily fantasy goes. And with those 5,000 points, $100 100-point contests, yeah, you're set for a while. You can enter 50+ contests for free, and you can have as many buy-ins as you want. You can make as many teams as you want. It's great. You can't beat it.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know why I didn't put Aaron Rodgers with Jonathan Taylor. God Almighty.
Yeah,
that was
stupid. Right. Yeah, now everyone's going to pick
That's
Jonathan
a lot,
Taylor, and he's not
kid.
going to. Yeah, everyone's gonna
dude.
pick
If I would have
Jonathan
just
Taylor,
had Aaron Rodgers and Jonathan Taylor, I mean, my God, that was already a solidified win in fantasy.
Yeah.
Somebody had that in my little pool, and I was just like, what the fuck? Even though I had Hurts, and I mean, like, I came close, but it was just, if you would have had that
You were like
lineup,
L.
yeah.
I feel you.
God Almighty, that one hurt.
Appreciate it, Maul. You're one of the few Cowboys one of the few Cowboys fans we like. So,
Yep.
appreciate it. Even though you predicted
Because
us to
he-
lose on Sunday, but it's okay.
Hey, I mean, he's got to let that hatred out a little bit, but at least he's an honest Cowboy fan. He's not the
exactly.
delusional
That's why I
Cowboy
love.
fan.
That's why I love Maul.
And you got to
That's
be
why I love
wrong
Maul.
sometimes in life. So, I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Even if it's every Sunday, it's all right.
exactly.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
as always, Maul, we love you. Fam, we love you. Todd, we love you. Dan, welcome to this crazy world that we call A2D Radio, and hell of a first show. Looking forward to a bunch more. And fam, we got a bunch of shows this weekend. We got we got In This Very Ring Sunday night. We got Money Pop Podcast. We got the Ramp Booth. We have a bunch of shows. We have the weekly roundup with Steve. So if you are a member, he is also doing membership giveaways. So if you are a member, make sure you are a member. I'm not sure exactly what Steve's giving out this week. I think it's like a signed picture of an Eagles player, or like usually with Steve, it's a former MMA fighter signed merch. So you got a bunch of stuff going on this weekend. So stay tuned. Bunch more shows. And as always, guys, we'll see you guys back next week on another episode of Fan Friday. Later, fam.
All right, take care, fam.